the scientific demon of an anime Omniverse. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 126 Props Attack. Home in the experimental base, Xia Yu stroked Franda's head like he was stroking a kitten. This lovely and beautiful girl also stayed beside Xia Yu very well, and put on a very docile look. If the people present didn't know what kind of bad guy this little girl was, they would probably think that she was such a docile girl. Hey, Franda, why are you so obedient to this guy? Mai Yi Shenli shouted angrily. After picking up Franda and tasting the little guy's lips, Xia Yu said with a nasty smile, Mai Yi classmate, it's working hours now, and subordinates are not allowed to kiss their superiors. What are you talking about? Where did I kiss you? And didn't you just kiss Franda's mouth? Hey, Franda, be more ambitious. Mai Yi Shenli looked at Franda, who was nestled in Xia Yu's arms like a kitten being raised, with some regret. Why? Franda couldn't help but recall that there was an extra $10 million in the card yesterday. Sorry. Mai Yi. I also want to be ambitious, but he gave too much, Franda thought to herself. Xia Yu sniffed Franda's fragrance, a smile crossed his lips, and said to Franda softly, look, you have been working so hard but didn't make much money, and Taketsubo was injured after the surgery. Do you want to change to an easy job? You can earn more by just lying down every day than risking your life. Hey, you're going too far. Mai Yi Shenli slammed the table excitedly. That? Boss, how about 50 million a month, boss, starting today? Woo when Franda's blue eyes as clear as the sky were tainted by the filth of money, Mai Yi Shenli snatched her away from Xia Yu's arms. Mai Yi, how could you do this? Not having to take risks should be a good thing for Franda-chan. Are you going to use your own selfish desires too? Don't listen, this guy's words are like the devil. Don't listen. Juan Kizue covered Mai Yi Shenli's ears. After spending a short time with Xia Yu, they realized that compared to this guy's absolute strength, the words that seemed to be able to see through people's hearts and whispered like a devil were the most troublesome. Xia Yu stretched out his hand to lift Juan Kizue's chin. His eyes were full of playfulness. His eyes kept scanning his whole body. A smile appeared at the corner of his mouth, and he said, Hey Zue-chan, I don't listen, it's super disgusting. Let me go, oh damn it, verbal digging. Xia, like to reject other people's requests the most, and then see their uncomfortable and helpless expressions. For example, Xia Yu put Franda aside through very high-end space operations, and then directly hugged Mai Yi Shenli in his arms. Oh that's it. I've always wanted to see your expression, the expression that wants to kill me but can't help it. Super disgusting. Okay, next. It's your turn. Kanuhata Zue, No. When seeing Xia Yu's eyes sweeping over her, Kanuhata Zue instinctively activated her nitrogen armor in an attempt to resist Xia Yu. Muda. My eternal variable, even without using AIM force field interference, is far superior to your nitrogen armor, but didn't you still use it? Oh, your legs are a little longer than Franda's. Win. No. Super disgusting. Just when Xia Yu was playing with his subordinates, Taketsubo Rihao put her head on Xia Yu's shoulder in a daze. Oh? It seems that there are still some remnants of the previous body crystal, and she still needs to be recuperated. Hey. Boss, is Taketsubo okay? Franda asked anxiously. It's okay, I won't die. What do you think? Are you interested? Forget it, boss. After hearing Mai Yi Shenli's cough, Franda chose to refuse. In fact, for her personally, it doesn't matter. For her, life is equal to her sister, which is slightly more important than money, and things like the body are not worth mentioning. However, she admires Mai Yi Shenli very much. She joined props because of her admiration for Mai Yi Shenli, so Mai Yi Shenli's opinion is also very important to her. The main thing is that if she follows Xia Yu, she will spend less time with Mai Yi Shenli. What a pity. I regret having you as my subordinates. If I had known, I would have locked you up and trained you well. Blah. So disgusting. Hello? Oh, it's Mr. Kanbitani. Have you thought about it? Don't worry. I can meet any of your needs, including the problem that you don't want to share research materials with me, but I am very interested in the head of the Rosenthal family. Ha ha ha, happy cooperation. Xia Yu let go of Kanuhidazue, and Kanuhidazue's hair stood up like a girl who had just been crawled on by a bug. Well, my dear employee, there is a mission. Go and greet my new researcher, and the girl next to him. Be careful, don't let the girl run away. If she runs away, then find a replacement from you. Guess how many positives I can write on your legs in one round? Xia Yu showed a nasty smile and said the words of an abnormal scumbag without caring. Super disgusting. Kanuhidazue and Mei Shenli both showed a very repulsive reaction, as if they were ordinary girls seeing a cockroach. Leave it with me for now. I still need to treat it further. Okay, let's go to work. Props, HMPH, don't do anything weird, Takatsubo, Kanuhidazue said unhappily. Don't worry, when you come back, you'll have a child, and Xia Yu made a very bad joke that I didn't know if it was a joke or not. So what? I can only treat it as a joke. Kanuhidazue pouted and left here with Mei Shenli. As for Xia Yu, his face was no longer as bad as before, but a thoughtful look. Necromancer? Do you have the value I want? And, the results of Kanbitani's experiment, the research on the increase of superpowers by volume? It seems, it is also somewhat helpful for the materialization of the soul. Please recommend. Please vote for the monthly ticket. Chapter 127 Ghoul Tropes. You are here to pick us up, right, Anbu, tools. We are responsible for protecting your safety, Mai Shenli announced to Himigata Mikohidani and Esther expressionlessly, and took out a mobile phone from his pocket to make a connection. The fifth place? What a big deal. I am really curious about who is behind this time. Himigata Mikohidani smiled falsely. The 8 level 5s of Academy City are the crystallization of the technology of the entire Academy City. And these 8 level 5s are no longer ordinary test subjects. They are important assets of Academy City, that is, high-end research results that ordinary researchers can only look at but not touch. And those who can dispatch level 5s, let alone other things, are definitely members of the board of directors. Although the so-called Enbu can be hired, they will be asked to do important things. After all, these guys are not little white rabbits, but jackals who can turn against them at any time. However, sending level 5s to protect them personally, it seems, this trip is still risky. Let's go, Esther, we're moving. The large RV was driving on the road, and Esther sat on the sofa with some uneasiness. Her uneasiness came from 2 points. First, the eyes of Mai Shenli and others would sweep over her from time to time, and they would always linger around her. Secondly, that is, she had an idea. She didn't want to continue to help the diamond-shaped Kanbidu, or the diamond-shaped leech. She always knew that there was no diamond-shaped leech in that body, but she always had a fluke in her heart. She is the successor of Rosenthal, an excellent necromancer, who has the ability to control corpses and give them mimic souls. And those mimic souls are generally passed down from ancestors, and are code-named with neon and flower-growing mythical beasts and monsters. The 4 most powerful mimic souls are the codenames of the 4 fierce beasts that grow flowers, Kyoki, Teoti, Teowu, and Hundun. The Teowu symbol is on the diamond-shaped leech. She knows, necromancy can control the body, but it cannot save the soul, so the body must be the Teowu spirit, but she is lucky. What if it was not dead, and it was maintained with the power of the Teowu spirit? No one dares to be sure. Is it possible? There is indeed a chance, that is, the probability that no one can erase. It is too small. Esther does not believe that there is a lich in it, so she decided to escape and find other ways to confirm it. Therefore, the surveillance of Mai Shenli and others naturally made her very uncomfortable. She is a necromancer. If there is no corpse for her to control, then her combat power is barely the same as that of a special forces soldier with bare hands. And after being in the Academy City for so long, she is not unaware of what the so-called level 5 represents. That power that can defeat an enemy army alone. Even if she controls all the pseudo-souls, she will definitely not be the opponent. So, she fell into an awkward situation. As for why she didn't escape before Mai Shenli arrived, Diamond Leech Charm, or Tao Wu would not allow it. What should I do? It can be expected that once she arrives at the destination, she basically has no possibility of escaping. Boom! The RV suddenly skidded, the car spun quickly, and hit the obstacle on the side. Everyone alert. Flanda, you stay in the car, Jawanki and I get off. Tire slip? This is basically impossible in Academy City, especially for a pseudo-official vehicle like Mai Shenli, which is as stable as a tank and cannot slip for no reason. And it is an automatic driving, and the possibility of a car accident with a high intelligence program is also extremely low. Considering that Xia Yu sent him here, it is obviously an enemy attack. King. Beautiful. When Mai Shenli got off the car, he saw 4 girls cheering. Ghoul Core, as a member of the Anbu as well, Mai Shenli originally didn't know about this minor character, but Xia Yu had all the Anbu information, and level 5 basically had a photographic memory, so naturally he remembered it. There were 4 people in the Ghoul Corps, including the black-haired boy who was half-crouching in a sailor suit, King Tiramaru, whose ability was level 4 friction increase and decrease, the red-haired girl with a mouth-covering pattern, Isarize, whose ability was the bird's-eye view grasp of the survey department. The purple-haired one who looked the most active, Sakurakuki Naruha, whose ability was paper-soaking telekinesis, which was actually a kind of telekinesis. The last one who looked the most mature and stable was Yamaru Izuki, whose ability was liquid ratio conversion. Mai Shenli, who had a strong computing power, quickly realized that it was King Taramu who reduced the friction through friction increase and decrease just now, so the tire slipped. Tisk Mai Shenli frowned, and the green glowing electron mixture around him emitted deadly rays of light towards the front. The light swept across the road, like a knife from God, directly splitting the road in half. The moment the ghouls discovered it, they rushed to the side, avoiding a direct annihilation. Hey! What is this? I'm too strong. Isurize lay on the ground, looking at the crack that was turned into a huge gap by the green light in disbelief, and the hot breath was still evaporating. It is conceivable that once it hits someone, it will definitely be either dead or disabled. This attack is definitely not an ordinary ability user. Level 4? Or, you bastards, remember my name Atomic Collapse Mai Shenli, and then go with this name, Mai, capture them alive for me. That Isarize and Yamaru Ikatsuki are a bit interesting. The voice that she hated very much came from the headset, and the most annoying thing was that she had to work obediently. Be careful, it's the 5th level 5. Use our combo skills, Isurize immediately reminded her teammates. King Taramu placed his hands on the ground, and his ability formed a circle around Mujino Shenli. Outside this circle, the friction was reduced to 0. The clothes on Sakuraki Mingai quickly disintegrated and turned into pieces of paper, which quickly wrapped around Mujino Shenli and formed a coffin. Go to hell, bang! Emerald green photons formed a wall and spread directly, destroying all matter. Mujino Shenli broke the combined attack of the ghoul troops with a crushing offensive. Catch them! As soon as Mujino Shenli gave the order, Kinu Hodazue beside him rushed out directly, with nitrogen armor directly reinforced on his body, and punched King Taramu in the stomach at the front. Friction is 0, King Taramu immediately used his ability on himself. When the friction is 0, it is difficult for material attacks to really hit him. Mujino Shenli frowned. The light was shut out again. Please recommend. Please vote for the monthly ticket. Chapter 128 Capture Success. This is a golden opportunity. With outsiders present, the diamond-shaped leech or Teowu will not show its specialness, and the 2 people with superpowers will go out to fight. Only this blonde girl who looks easy to deal with is left. Esther quietly put a chapter of the spell on her body, and the power and skills of the simulated soul are added to her body. At the moment when she pretended to take something from the refrigerator, she suddenly jumped up, smashed the glass directly, and jumped directly from the road. Flanda instinctively took out a bomb, but because the space in the car was too small to use it, Esther successfully escaped. This process was too fast, and Esther seized the opportunity and began to escape. Mai Shenli was worried that he would be attacked when he got off the car, so he took the self-protective ability of Juankizue away, leaving Flanda, who was powerless and had insufficient defense, in the car. This result was also indirectly caused. Damn, Mai Shenli looked at Esther who jumped off the road and landed on the next level of the road and fled to the distance. She had an unhappy expression on her face. The only person who could keep up with her speed was Kinu Hodazue, but Kinu Hodazue was capturing the ghoul troops. Although she was powerful, her attacks were too lethal to guarantee Esther's survival. She could only watch her escape. Tisk. Actually, it was also because of Xia Yu. If it weren't for Xia Yu's sudden decision to capture the ghoul troops, my Yi Shanli would have been wiped out in one round. It would have been fine. Kanuhida, we must catch them, but no matter what, if they ran away, at least we have to complete another task. Sheets of paper were quickly spliced together, and thousands of pieces of paper formed a huge doll-like outer armor, which was put on Sakuroki Mingayu. She shouted and smashed Kanuhida Zue with her right arm. Bang! Kanuhida Zue was repelled by the strong force. Although she didn't receive any damage because of the nitrogen armor, she could have taken down these guys by herself. Although this group of people looked strange, their strength was obvious. All of them were level 4. Swoosh rays of emerald green light formed a human figure, directly turning the armor of Sakuroki Mingayu into atoms, but did not hurt him at all. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Kanuhida Zue stepped forward quickly and punched Sakuroki Mingayu in the stomach. The heavy blow to the abdomen made Sakuroki Mingayu feel nauseous, saliva spurted out of his unconsciously opened mouth, and his body flew backwards and hit the wall. Damn! Xia Yu took out a test tube from her waist, injected it into a metal ball, and immediately threw it towards Kanuhida Zue. It contained special liquid nitrogen made by her ability, a special liquid that can freeze quickly. The emerald green light directly engulfed it and burned it directly. No. That LV5 suppression is too strong. Although she doesn't seem to want to kill us, but we can't win like this, as the captain, Surize kept thinking. The absolute suppression of LV5 almost made her breathless. King Taramu once again blocked Kanuhida's favorite attack by reducing friction, while Yamaruizuki took this opportunity to continue throwing special liquids. Mei Shenli's patience is running out. The ability to control atomic collapse through computing power makes her very irritable. At this moment, these little bugs are still jumping around very annoyingly. Mei Shenli's face darkened, and her finger pointed at King Taramu. The emerald green light directly penetrated her abdomen, and a large amount of blood spurted out, dyeing the surroundings red. Anyway, Xia Yu just said that Surize and Yamaruizuki's abilities are interesting, so it's okay to kill or injure a few people. King, Yamaruizuki shouted worriedly. However, at this moment, Kanuhida's favorite had already come to her side. With Kanuhida's favorite leg sweep, followed by a grabbing hand, directly pinning down Xia Yu, the battle was almost over. The last one left was Surize, who had no fighting ability. Snap! A set of handcuffs was thrown to Surize by Mei Shenli, and with Mei Shenli's arrogant gesture, Surize was handcuffed. The ghoul army was arrested. On the other side, young Master Xia was on a date. I didn't expect you to ask me out. It's really rare. In the cafe, Shakyo Halmasaki and Xia Yu sat opposite each other. I heard that you have been paying attention to things related to the birth of Dolly recently. You are really well informed. What's going on? Our chairman is not going to persuade me to stop paying attention, not really, because I am also paying attention, but there are some things that I can't force. For him, Xia Yu's words were just forced now, which would easily affect his interests in the future. Shakyo Halmasaki had a slight misunderstanding. She knew the position of the guy in front of her very well, and even he couldn't force it. Is it a decision made by the board of directors? So, even so, I will still close. Hey. Xia Yu. Shakyo Halmasaki's words were interrupted, and a blonde girl with twin ponytails wearing a white shirt and plaid skirt walked towards Xia Yu. My chairman, who is this? Shakyo Halmasaki just smiled slightly on the surface, but actually stretched her calf and kicked Xia Yu's calf. Why kick me? I want to kick. The person who came was Ariri. Xia Yu was waiting for her to go to the department to find her, but he didn't expect to meet her here. Speaking of which, it's normal to meet in the school garden. After all, she lives here. Oh what a coincidence, who is she? Ariri was originally a little shy, but when she saw Shakyo Halmasaki sitting opposite Xia Yu, her expression changed. Girls always have inexplicable hostility towards equally beautiful girls, especially when they sit next to the guy they like. Hey. Hello. I'm Shakyo Halmasaki from Takewade. Are you Brother Yu's friend? We're on a date. Shakyo Halmasaki immediately showed a bright smile, held Xia Yu's right hand with both hands, and said in a very gentle manner. Really, sort of, right, sorry, it seems I came at the wrong time. No. You came at the right time, let's go together. Shakyo Halmasaki and Ariri's expressions were unexpectedly the same. Hey, you're on a date with a girl, and you invite another girl to go on a date with you? Doesn't the chairman think you're such a scumbag? But haven't I always been like this? You know what? Sooner or later, a girl will put a kettle on for you, and then, with the sound of the kettle boiling, she'll stab your kidneys with a hatchet and chop off your head. Well, but with your ability, maybe there will be a girl crying for you, if you want. I can hug your head anytime. I said just hug my head, come on, listen to my orders, chop me off to cheer up my son. Please vote for recommendation. Please vote for the monthly ticket. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 129, Selling Misery. Dear readers, you must like this book if you have read this far. So far, the performance of this book is really hard to describe, especially these days. The negative growth of collections is outrageous. I am also asking you to support me. I would like to ask you to put this book on the bookshelf to collect dust, and I also ask the book friends who have been following it until now to give me a few recommendation votes. This is about recommendation. It is also about whether the performance of this book can get on the right track. Please everyone. Please recommend. Chapter 130 Youth Anime? Oh, you're not the Queen of Tukewade. Oh, the sixth one. There are only 8 level 5s among the 1.3 million people in Academy City. They are like superstars in the outside world. Even people who don't care much about them will be very surprised when they meet them. How he saw Amira-san, what's so surprising? This Xia-san is the first among the level 5s. Oh really? Really? I guess so. Xia Yu is no longer a level 5, but a genuine level 6, a level 6 who has truly reached listening to the will of God with a mortal body. The so-called will of God refers to one's own soul and the essence of one's own abilities. It is not a god in the traditional sense. However, he is still a level 5 in name. How amazing. I'm just a user with a strong ability. Being a user with a strong ability is already amazing. What ability is it? I can summon what I draw, that's it. As an excellent artist, it is normal for him to carry a drawing board, paper and pen with him. Arari took them out and quickly drew a flower on them. Then Xia Yu felt a movement of Arari's AIM force field and activated his ability. Flowers appeared on the screen, and the flowers on the white paper disappeared. This, Shakyo Halmasaki looked at the flower in disbelief. Although there are all kinds of strange things in Academy City, such superpowers are also quite rare. Even she heard of it for the first time. Oh, very amazing. Xia Yu was also surprised. This should be the superpower closest to magic he has ever seen. However, looking at this ability, Xia Yu showed a nasty smile, and whispered to Ari's ear, Teacher Kashiwagi Ari, have you used this ability? No. My ability is only level 3 and can only draw some dead things. Ari's flawless white face was stained with crimson, and she puffed her cheeks and pushed Xia Yu away as if flirting. Oh indeed, the flowers on the drawing board were just fake flowers, made of plastic. Chairman Xia, isn't it not good to flirt with a girl you dated at the beginning? Shakyo Halmasaki had a smile on her face, but it was a somewhat formal smile. Who flirted with him? Ari showed her tsundere as always. Xia Yu touched Shakyo Halmasaki's slender hand wrapped in a white spider web-style glove. What? Is Fang Feng jealous? Come, give me a kiss, get out of here. Who asked you to kiss me? Xia Yu's hand was knocked away, and Shakyo Halmasaki took a sip of the drink. Her eyes, which looked like those in a girl's comic, narrowed slightly. She said in a firm tone, saw Amira-san's family should be good. She could see that the girl in front of her was still innocent and had never experienced darkness, just like her peers. And this ability, even if it is LV3 research value, it is definitely not lower than the general space system LV4. With such a treasure, the reason why she has not been swallowed by darkness must be that there must be a bright light protecting her. Well, it's okay, my family is okay. Her father is the British ambassador to Japan, and her mother is a local noble family in Japan. Xia Yu knew what Shakyo Halmasaki wanted to ask, so he answered her directly. Hey, Ari was a little unhappy. She didn't like to show her identity outside. Oh, you have a rich family? Xia, you don't want to be a gigolo, do you? Good idea. Feng, why don't you support me too? In addition to Kaguya, Chika, and Kimiko. Well, I think being able to be a gigolo with so many gigolos at the same time is also considered a hard life. Go away. Who wants to support you? How about I support you, go away? Feeling a little uncomfortable, looking at Xia Yu and Shakura Hamasaki, who were obviously very familiar with each other, Ariri felt that she couldn't fit in, and even felt that she couldn't get a word in. She felt a little awkward for a while. Xia Yu noticed this awkwardness and said, Ariri, I remember you said you wanted to repay me before, right? Oh, Shakura Hamasaki was also a little concerned about this situation. Before Yu-jun saved me, how about you pledge yourself to me? Shakura Hamasaki said suddenly. Hey, the sudden words made Ariri's mind confused. Her brain was thinking wildly, her face turned red, and puffs of smoke seemed to come out of her head. It's obvious that the CPU is overheating. Am I the kind of person who repays a favor? I'm not. So, Xia Yu forced himself to finish his words under Shakura Hamasaki's gaze, and then whispered in Ariri's ear, Teacher Kashiwagi Eri, please draw a book for me by hand. I can't refuse, but I've done you a favor. Okay, Ariri, with her mind in a mess, instinctively agreed to Xia Yu's words, and then ran away with a blushing face. Ah, what an easy girl to deal with. Shakura Hamasaki supported her face with one hand and sighed helplessly. Well, this is youth. Isn't anime about girls and boys? I've seen stories about girls and boys. Don't worry, generally speaking, extra people never live to see the next day. Hey. Doesn't this feel like anime at all? Who said that? An excellent artist who calls himself a warrior of love once said, children should also know the cruelty of reality. Only in this way, they won't be pitted by naivety, made up. The end of overestimating one's own abilities is to be found at the bottom of the river. Shakura Hamasaki narrowed her beautiful eyes and looked at the handsome guy in front of her who showed the aura of a villain. She couldn't help but feel speechless. However, she had to admit that this was true. The incompetent did not deserve everything, because the incompetent could not keep what they had. Beauty has always been worthy of the strong, even if the strong have a lot. But Shakura Hamasaki lifted the shoe on her right foot, used all her strength, and kicked Xia Yu's leg hard with a smile on her face. Ouch, it hurts. Feng, it's not that she doesn't like such a strong man. Her beautiful eyes curved into a crescent, and her footwork continued, kicking Xia Yu from time to time. Xia Yu on the opposite side suddenly leaned under the table after his ankle was grabbed. Oh. Although I have guessed it for a long time, you really like the pattern of spider webs. Such things have insufficient defense. Shakura Hamasaki's face, which had always been smiling, turned red, and her left foot stepped hard on Xia Yu's foot. Please recommend. Please vote for the monthly ticket. Thank you all. In just one day, my recommendation votes increased by more than 200, and nearly 80 people voted for me, including many familiar names. Thank you very much. You don't have to worry about the book suddenly dying. With you all here, I will definitely continue to update it, but because I still have to go to work, I can only update it at night. I am also shamelessly asking for your support here. Thank you. Chapter 131 Possessiveness? Shakura Hamasaki walked on the street with a leisurely pace, and it seemed that she was in a good mood. Suddenly, her eyes glanced behind her, and a man in black clothes and a motorcycle helmet on his head quickly hid in the alley. Hey. So fast? By the way, why do these guys like to wear black suits so much? Are they afraid that others can't see it? Shakura Hamasaki complained lightly. She naturally put her hand into her messenger bag, took out a mobile phone from it, opened the contacts skillfully, and clicked on the first call. Hello? What? Have you figured it out? I figured it out. I don't want to work hard anymore. Keep me. Uncle, Shakura Hamasaki said very playfully. Oh, are you in trouble? Can it be solved with money? If you think it can be solved with money, do I need to call you? Is the money not enough? Oh, Shakura Hamasaki suddenly sighed, turned around gorgeously, with a sweet smile on her face. She shouted at the entrance of the alley, Hey! Who sent you here? 10 million, can you let me go? A group of men in black suits and motorcycle helmets on their heads walked out of the alley. Their expressions were serious. The leader said, Little girl, if you want to blame someone, blame yourself for investigating something you shouldn't have investigated, and you have considerable value yourself. Yes, listen, they say no. If you come late, I will be arrested? Maybe they will plant a tree over your head. Shakura Hamasaki didn't feel nervous at all. Her beautiful eyes formed an arc and the corners of her mouth were slightly raised. Little girl, we are not planning to do this to you. I don't think the adults have that intention either, but you will probably be in for something worse. Hey. Guys. Let's talk. It's useless to take her back. Look at her, she has nothing to ask for. Why take her back? To be a washboard? Here, 50 million, just pretend you have never seen her. This money is enough for you to live a good life anywhere. Many men in black really hesitated. It was too much to give. Okay. You can get the money if you want, but you can't spend it. When the leader said this, he immediately seemed to think of his boss's method, and his expression became determined. Who are you calling a washboard? I can still grow. At this moment, it seemed that the most dangerous person was completely unaware. Sorry. Little girl, if you want to blame someone, blame yourself for being too reckless. Friends. I gave you a chance, as I said, you can take it if you have the chance, but you can't spend it if you don't. Then, you won't even have the chance to take it. What? Boom, as if it was a bolt from the blue. A bolt of lightning fell from the sunny sky, right between Shakira Hamasaki and the man in black. Friends. I gave you a chance. By the way, why do people who do things like you wear black suits, Zizzy? Turning around, I saw that the protagonist this time was puffing up his cheeks and tapping his feet very unhappily. What's wrong? My little wife, who is your wife, and who are you calling a washboard? Don't worry, my XP system is very broad. Silver-haired, blonde, girl, lolly. I am all control, mainly based on the face. Feng, you are so cute, I am controlled too. Go away, who wants you to control me? Shakira Hamasaki pushed away the exaggerated Xia Yu, and then her expression became ugly. She looked at the position of the man in black before, and said, it seems that this matter is darker than I thought. Someone came to me so soon, this matter is very troublesome. It is related to the one at the top, so why don't you just leave it alone and let me, your righteous partner, solve it? Justice? You? Haha, Shakira Hamasaki laughed. Although she was not the first one to come into contact with Xia Yu, she definitely knew Xia Yu's background best. Although this guy was not as dark as the deepest darkness in Academy City, he was also one of them, and definitely not a good thing. Of course, there are many kinds of justice in the world, but there are only two kinds of justice that are absolutely unchanging. Victory and cuteness. Can't I, who protects cute girls, be considered a partner of justice? You are just an LSP. Instead of saying this, you might as well say that you can definitely win, so you are partner of justice. Well, that's fine too. Justice and victory are mutual. In Greek mythology, the chariot of the god King Zeus, when he went to war, showed the glory of the goddess of victory on one side and the glory of the goddess of justice on the other. When it comes to Xia Yu's situation, he is undefeated. He will fall into disadvantage, but he will never fail, because for them, failure is death. As long as they are not dead, they will not fail. For beings like Xia Yu, Awis, and Aleister, even the demon gods can defeat them. The demon gods can easily wipe them out billions of times, but they will not fail, nor will they really die. Their only enemy is themselves, and they will only die in their own hands. Only when their heart dies will they perish. I will continue to investigate this matter, then the hunt will continue. Don't we still have you here, my dear chairman? It's your duty to protect ordinary citizens. Looking at Shakira Hamasaki's scissor hands and her playful and cute tongue, Xia Yu shrugged helplessly. Indeed. Xia Yu does not allow others to hurt them. Is this love? Not necessarily, but it is definitely possessiveness. No one would be willing to let others destroy their things, no matter whether the thing is important or not. What's more, compared to things, maybe more like family or pets. It seems a bit too much? They are not sure. Anyway, Naoko is undoubtedly a pet. It's almost done. After all, the ridiculous experiment of killing 20,000 slimes to make people become gods that once surprised people is about to begin. In other words, it's almost reached Aleister's bottom line, and I have to move too. Please recommend. Please vote for the monthly ticket. Chapter 132 School? No, this is a research institute. Academy City, on a train that will never stop. A secretary handed a phone call to the man sitting on the sofa. It's the board of directors. Hello, Wang Ben, it's me, chairman? What's the matter? You took revenge on him, right? Although the DA is just a group of disobedient hounds, they are still my dogs after all. When beating a dog, You have to look at the owner, so you leaked the information about the 6th place to there. So you sent the ghoul troop to hijack the train, that's right, be careful. Beep. The call ended, and Wang Ben casually put down the phone with a contemptuous smile on his face. Hey, in this train that randomly travels underground in Academy City and never stops, even if the first place is so powerful, he can't find me and lock my position. Well, but, so be it. After all, it's just a group of hounds, it's not worth it for me to continue to serve them. Buzz buzz, time and space seemed to be solidified, and the world changed from three-dimensional to pseudo-two-dimensional. In the underground train tunnel of Academy City, a robot with blue light shining from its joints stood in the tunnel. A series of mimicry graphics mimicked it into the appearance of Xia Yu. The style of the train shone from a distance, and its full horsepower speed was enough to crush a human body into mincemeat. Xia Yu raised his right hand. Sparks burst directly from his entire body, and a large amount of current erupted from his joints. The body was obviously overloaded in an instant. But it was enough. The train in front of him turned into a piece of paper in an instant, a train with a thickness of only a piece of paper. It's too late. I'm dead. There will be no next time. The body was shattered and turned into a pile of scrap metal. This body can only withstand Xia Yu's computing power. In a building without windows and doors. Well, you will replace Wang Ben as a member of the General Council. Well, Wang Ben? Don't know what you shouldn't know. Well, did Esther run away? Well, I am also responsible for this matter. Never mind. Where's the ghoul troop? In the confinement room. Zhuan Qizue answered Xia Yu's question with some trepidation. Although she has become Xia Yu's subordinate, and that incident happened a long time ago, the terrifying power Xia Yu once displayed still frightened her. This is not a question of courage, but a kind of fear of the unknown that humans have. Of course, Zhuan Qizue is also very curious, but she doesn't want her to let Xia Yu show it. Where are Mugino and Flanda? They went to try to chase them, and haven't come back yet. Well, it doesn't matter. As long as we're still in Academy City, we can't escape from my grasp. Let's go check on that ghoul army first. Let me go. Naruto Miru kept struggling, but with her superpowers sealed, she was just a small fry, and there was no way she could break free from the shackles. Naru-chan, give up. Our superpowers are sealed, there's no way we can break free. Save some strength. Yakumo Izuki shrugged and said helplessly. If she could still use her superpowers, let alone this chain, even the strongest building, she would have the confidence to handle it, but now, she has no choice. I'm afraid I'll have to pay a high penalty for failing this mission. Really? Why did I encounter level 5? Yamaru Chizuki complained with a bitter face, and suddenly, she looked at Ai Surize who had been silent and asked, "What's wrong, Captain? Are you scared by the 5th place?" I was just wondering how Kinking is doing. In the deepest part of the room, in a cylindrical glass tank filled with unknown liquid, Kinking Tamaru was floating in it with his eyes closed. There was a hole about the size of a fist in his abdomen, and the flesh and blood disappeared directly. Now he was being kept alive by drugs. The door of the confinement room opened. A man? Not worth anything. Let's dissect him. Just so I can study the situation of these guys. What did you say? What are you going to do to Kinking? Hey. Teacher? You guy? Teacher? What? Do you hate teachers? That's right. You teachers are the source of all evil. Academy City is a huge school. It's because of you teachers who can't manage the school well that this place has become so bad. As long as you are killed. One day, there will be roles like the Dean of Teaching and the Principal who will stand up. As long as they are killed. This place will be better, Sakura Miyuki Mingayu shouted loudly. Xia Yu understood that what they hated was not the profession of teacher, but the entire Academy City, and then they blamed the mistakes of Academy City on the people who managed and assisted in the management of Academy City, thinking that it was their fault. In fact, those who are the leaders of Academy City basically have a considerable degree of responsibility, and even many of them are required by them. However, this is to look at Academy City as a school. For those above, Academy City is not as noble as a school, it is just a research institute. Then, these problems are not problems for those people, they are experimenters, directors. What can they say to the experimental subjects? School? Ho. Okay, then I am what you call the Dean of Teaching, now I am in front of you? What can you do? What? I want to defeat you. Or what? Sakuroki Mingai was threatening again. Damn, then you are the top student. You are the ones who hide behind the teacher and stab us in the back. Yale 1 Xia Yu yelled at Zhuan Qizue in great dissatisfaction. Zhuan Qizue looked confused. Ha ha ha, well. Children like you should find a good teacher to educate you well. Xia Yu's mouth showed a trace of joy. Since they hate teachers so much, then it must be very painful for them to learn well and be good people. And watching others suffer is the easiest way to get pleasure. However, before doing so, Xia Yu still needs to study these children carefully. After all, Xia Yu is not the so-called dean of education or teacher. If he catches someone else's guinea pig and doesn't study them carefully, wouldn't it be a loss? The Glarmy? And the strange abilities of several of them are all very valuable. Please recommend. Please vote for the monthly ticket. Chapter 133, Capturing Esther. Hoo-hoo in the dark night, Esther sat slumped in the corner. She looked around from time to time. At this moment, her heart was full of confusion. Although she escaped and successfully got rid of the pursuers, she didn't know where to go now. What should she do? How should she do it? Where should she go? She didn't know. She had been in the city for nearly a year, but this city was still so strange to her. She didn't know anyone except the Diamond brothers and sisters, and she didn't have any place to go except the research institute. Oh beauty, what's wrong? So tired? Do you want to go play with your brother? Several gangsters seemed to just pass by, and Esther's white research suit was too conspicuous. When they noticed this girl, they were immediately attracted by her beauty. Sorry. I don't have time to play now. I still have, although Esther was already 16 or 17 years old, because of the secluded environment all year round, she didn't hear what this guy meant, but simply took it as an invitation. She refused decisively. Although she didn't know where to go or what to do, she still needed to keep running. She had only shaken off the pursuers for a short time. According to her understanding of the darkness of this city, the pursuers would soon lock on to her identity again. She had to move on immediately and get a corpse so that she could perform necromancy. However, the gangsters were the most blind guys no matter where they were or when. Hey! You can't leave unless you accompany us to play. Several gangsters formed a human wall and blocked Esther in the corner. Please get out of the way, let's go. Follow me. The talisman was attached to her body, and the fighting instinct from the pseudo-soul was engraved in Esther's body muscles. Facing the attack of the enemy, her body responded instinctively. Esther squatted and swept her legs, knocking down the gangsters. You bitch, how could a bunch of hooligans beat a magician? The instinctive muscle reaction of the body made Esther like a leopard, with a flexible and extremely fast reaction. She quickly launched an attack and knocked down the hooligans. Is it a person with special abilities? Damn. Go away, the psoriasis of the student city is these little hooligans. They blame their own inability on God, and turn their own uselessness into hostility towards others. They are self-destructive, reckless, fearful of power but not moral, and a group of wastes who bully the weak and fear the strong. For them, the guards usually criticize and educate them. The attitude of the board of directors, including Xia Yu, is to clean up. Esther was too lazy to chase them, but just continued to walk on the road, looking for a hospital. Hello, is there anything I can help you with? The sudden voice made Esther quickly alert. She quickly made a 180-degree turn and distanced herself from before. A young man in regular sportswear and a discipline committee member armband on his shoulder was standing there. Hello. I'm the discipline committee, Xia Yu. Why haven't you come home yet so late? Do you need any help? Discipline committee. Esther knew that the discipline committee was a special organization that maintained order, and strictly speaking, it was in the same department as the security guards. And most of the discipline committee members were students with superpowers. So the appearance of Guanglin and his ability to suddenly appear were also consistent. Can you take me to the hospital? Esther was still very unfamiliar with Academy City, and she didn't know how long it would take for her to find a hospital, so she decided to ask the discipline committee in front of her. Suddenly, the boy in front of her disappeared in front of her, and then appeared next to Esther. Xia Yu's hands seemed to form an illusion, and Esther was quickly manipulated like a doll. Even Esther, whose body and nerves were strengthened, had no time to react in this process. You are not injured. Why go to the hospital? If you don't explain the reason, then I will temporarily arrest you, Xia Yu said seriously, as if he was saying confess and be lenient, resist and be strict. Esther also knew how difficult the person in front of her was. At least level 4, I am no match for him. The interrogation by the discipline committee is in accordance with the rules. Just tell the truth. After thinking quickly, Esther said, I'm going to the morgue to find the body. Please sit down, boss. Hey, a chair appeared from nowhere, the kind of interrogation chair for important suspects of group crimes. Esther was pressed directly on the chair by Xia Yu with a smile, and handcuffs popped out from the armrests and front legs to fix Esther. If you have anything to say, come back with me. We can communicate slowly. By the way, you can remain silent, but every word you say will become evidence in court. Well, I've wanted to say this line for a long time. You're the first one. What are you doing? Are you in the same group with them? An unexpected success. No matter which discipline committee member here, they will not let you go, Xia Yu complained helplessly. It was the first time that Xia Yu met such a silly magician. Hey, with a cry that sounded like she was acting cute, a blonde girl suddenly stopped at the entrance of the alley, pointed her finger inside and shouted, you can't run away. Hey, boss. It's useless. I have to do it myself. Flanda, this time the bonus is gone. No. Boss, you can punish me however you want, but don't deduct my bonus. Flanda hugged Xia Yu's thigh and shouted loudly. And you? My ye. Wait for the punishment this time, huh? Isn't it deducting the bonus? Didn't Flanda say that it doesn't matter what kind of punishment you want without deducting the bonus? Anyway, that little money doesn't matter. How good is the punishment? After hearing Xia Yu's words, Mai Yi Shenli looked at Flanda. Hey is hard to beat. Hey, you ghost. Looking at Flanda who was acting cute in front of her, Mai Yi Shenli directly cut away with an atomic ray. Flanda, boss, what are you shouting about? I seem to feel deeply persecuted. The light just swept across Flanda's eyes and frightened her. Xia Yu's words inexplicably made her feel a strange malice. Oh, it's okay, Xia Yu answered casually and stretched out his hand. An invisible attraction emanated from his palm, pulling Esther, who was trying to shake the chair and move slowly. Grabbing the chair with one hand, the whole person disappeared on the spot. Come back quickly, stick your head out and wait for me to punish you. Who wants it? Let's go, Mai Yi Shenli responded very defiantly, and then walked away casually. Please recommend. Please vote for the monthly ticket. Chapter 134, Modulation Props. Yo, aren't you not coming back? Xia Yu had just received Esther's necromancy from the laboratory, and then walked out and saw his 3 employees. Among them, Flanda was very sensible and knelt on the sofa, leaning against the edge of the sofa with her front lower and her back higher, and standing up obediently. And Zhuan Qizui was biting her lips and struggling. Mai Yi Shenli was like a proud white swan, holding up her beautiful and white beauty, sitting stubbornly on the side. Do you know, Mai Yi? What I like to do most? It is to take action against those who think they have strength, or, stubborn little guys like you. The human heart is perhaps the only unknown thing in this world. Powerful beings with a desire for knowledge, or a desire to conquer, like to observe the human heart. Through a little bit of guidance and some operations, a person is in a suitable position at the right time. If successful, then the desire to conquer is satisfied. If failed, then a sense of surprise is obtained, and curiosity about the reasons for one's failure arises. Just like humans know that if they draw a line on paper, the ants on the paper will get lost, and then they keep drawing lines to let the ants go to the right place at the right time. But one ant suddenly ignores this and walks normally. People will be curious why? At first, people thought they understood the physiological information of ants, so they thought they could control them through information. This is human arrogance. When reality tells them that they cannot control it, then people fall into curiosity. And those gods similar to humans have similar ideas as humans, but they think ants are too simple, so they observe humans. Although Xia Yu is a human, he has the same hobbies, but the target is usually cute girls. Through appropriate guidance, at the right time, through different methods for each individual, he can win the heart of the girl. Typical super scumbag behavior. However, for him, this is just a little bit of fun in the long research and calculation. For example, Flanda. For this typical fence-sitter unit, it is the most difficult. People like her are difficult to fall in love with others. Although you can easily play with her body through various means, it is basically impossible to get her heart. And people like Mai Yi Shenli are exactly the easiest type. This kind of emotions are more exposed, and the character is strong. As long as you suppress her, crush her pride, And then at the right time and with the right method, you can easily complete the strategy. And now, it's time to put pressure on her. Xia Yu's body instantly came in front of my Yishen Li, reaching the distance of either fighting or kissing. At this moment, there was a slight turbulence in my Yishen Li's stubborn eyes. The moment Zhuangqi Zhuiai saw it, her hair stood up and she instinctively wanted to shrink. Her intuition told her that Xia Yu was in danger now. Well, you are neither obedient nor running away. You give me a headache. Xiao Mai Yi, Xia Yu put one hand on the back of the sofa, and his red eyes looked at my Yishen Li's brown eyes. Uneasy, Xia Yu's eyes, which were far beyond the satellite level, captured dozens of extremely tiny, cell-level, changes of my Yishen Li in a short period of time. Do whatever you want, my Yishen Li still raised his neck proudly. Xia Yu picked her up by the waist, turned around and sat on the sofa. Then my Yishen Li spun quickly in Xia Yu's hands and was pressed on Xia Yu's legs. With a breeze blowing behind her head, Xia Yu lifted her skirt directly. Safety pants? I really don't understand. I didn't expect that there are people who wear this kind of thing under the skirt. Xia Yu put his hand on my Yishen Li's safety pants, and the soft touch spread from his palm. Asshole. I'm going to kill you. How scary. The fabric was quickly decomposed into atoms, and was formed from the side with Xia Yu's consciousness. Oh. I didn't expect that there is such a hobby. White bear? Tisk tisk tisk. I didn't expect you to have such a cute side. As Xia Yu teased, Zhuangqi Zhuiai and Flanda couldn't help but cast curious eyes. Being seen by his subordinates in this embarrassing posture, a strong sense of humiliation surged in his heart. However, Xia Yu was not satisfied yet, and the power of decomposition was exerted again. My Yishen Li only felt the touch on her skin become completely close, and a white color fell directly in front of her eyes. My Yishen Li's fair face instantly turned red, and her eyes were full of confusion. She struggled hard, trying her best to break free. Hey, Xia Yu leaned close to her ear and whispered like a devil, don't grind anymore. If you can't hold the gun down, I'll shoot you. Woo-woo. Gritting her teeth, my Yishen Li's eyes even flashed with water. She grabbed the fabric of the sofa tightly, and her teeth seemed to be broken. Snap raised her palm and swung it down. Woo. The teeth were clenched, not in pain, but in anger and humiliation. Snap what? I'm going to kill you. Snap, don't be a good boy. After a period of time that was worse than death for my Yishen Li, Xia Yu finally let her go. Don't move. Just like that, wait until I punish them, then we can talk. Xia Yu raised an eyebrow at Zhuangqi Zhuiai. With a previous experience in front of her, Zhuangqi Zhuiai crawled beside Flanda very obediently. As for them, naturally, he would not do the same to my Yishen Li, the thorn. Xia Yu did not decompose it completely. Well, Zhuangqi Zhuiai is pure white, and Flanda is black. Quite strong. Very brave. No, super disgusting. Zhuangqi Zhuiai seems to be a religious prisoner who likes to show her thighs. It seems that she often studies the way of crossing her legs in a looming but vaguely visible way. Now she has fallen into Xia Yu's hands, or Xia Yu has found a reason to molest her, so he must touch this girl's beautiful legs. Please recommend. Please vote for the monthly ticket. Chapter 135 Necromancer? Sorry. There are too many captives recently, and I don't have a place to put you for the time being. Your family's necromancy is quite interesting, but it's still a low achievement. The value doesn't seem to be enough for the effort I put in. Well, Esther, right? Then congratulations, you, a guy on the magic side, have successfully become a member of the science side. You are recruited. What is your purpose? What do you want to do with my necromancy? Death cannot be controlled. People can only face death calmly and don't dream of controlling life and death. Esther's eyes were covered with a layer of black cloth. She saw the situation in front of her. Her limbs were fixed to the chair and she was basically unable to move. All the talismans on her body were searched away. Esther's combat power is not much different from that of an ordinary girl. Control of life and death? Oh, it is indeed interesting. However, I don't care about this. I just want to see the crystallization of the wisdom of the nobles, the pseudo-soul. I thought it would be high-end, but I didn't expect it to be just programming consciousness through magic, making it a low-level operation similar to a data packet. Well, maybe I'm asking too much? But it's still interesting. For example, Xia Yu pointed his index finger forward, and a talisman composed of electric current appeared in front of him. It depicted the crystallization of the wisdom of the Rosenthal family, the basic curse of the pseudo-soul. Go! The electric current talisman turned into a beam of lightning and attached to Esther's body. Extremely small currents quickly spread to every cell in Esther's body and turned into ritual. Caca. Well, in fact, this operation is similar to psychological control. It seems that it can control his thoughts as soon as it is performed, and this necromancy seems to have a communication function, which is similar to wires, which can connect non-living matter with living matter, deceive his soul, make his soul think that they are one, and then expand the power? It seems that there is a little taste of soul materialization. Xia Yu quickly understood Esther's necromancy, and integrated and classified his abilities, and then upgraded them. Stop! Xia Yu snapped his fingers, and Esther's dancing figure stopped. Esther once again regained the authority to control his body. When he was dominated just now, he was obviously very tired, but he couldn't even breathe. He was still conscious, but he was like a puppet. Is the corpse controlled by my necromancy? This how it feels, Esther thought to himself. You can take off the blindfold, or I might treat you to ham sausage that will burst. Esther tilted her head and took off the blindfold. Her fair face was still full of confusion, as if she didn't understand Xia Yu's words at all. Well, don't you understand? She's a pure and good child. Well, such a good child alone in the Academy City will definitely be eaten to pieces. Let me protect her well. At this moment, in the deep darkness of the Academy City, the darkest corner at the core showed a kind smile. Hey, isn't this Esther? Well, I haven't seen you for a few days. You're so lame. Rhombus Kambiga sat on the computer chair and smiled mockingly at Esther, who was following Xia Yu in a Japanese-style maid outfit. Esther just kept silent and said nothing. She was a very sensible person. In this situation, keeping silent was the best solution. Mainly because of this situation, Xia Yu didn't know what use he could have with her, so he treated her as a maid, and paired up with Jean. When he gathered all 7 blonde maids, he might even be able to summon a dragon. Mr. Diamond, is this your sister? She really has a lovely appearance, Mr. Xia Yu. I'll take it as a compliment. Is there anything? You agreed at the beginning, not to interfere with my experiment. Diamond Kambiga showed a dangerous look on his face. Don't worry, I'm still waiting for your final results. How could I interfere? Xia Yu chuckled, his eyes swept across the diamond leech soaked in formalin. He could see the twisted soul inside the tender shell clearly. Or, a twisted pseudo-soul. But what does this have to do with Xia Yu? Whether their experiment succeeded or failed, it was valuable to Xia Yu. As for Esther, her eyes were fixed on the diamond leech and she couldn't leave. Suddenly, the tightly closed eyes of the diamond-shaped leech opened slightly, and a pair of blood-red eyes swept across, as if warning Esther. Esther turned around and followed Xia Yu away. She didn't say anything. She knew that even if she said it, it would be meaningless, but she was still hesitant. Was the one in the glass chamber, the real diamond-shaped leech? Was it used after death, or was it used directly before death? Although it is said that the pseudo-soul of their family cannot be used before death, didn't Xia Yu use it on her just now? So, what if it is true? Esther felt that she was a good friend of the diamond-shaped leech in her lifetime. If it was really a leech, then she prevented her from realizing her dream in resurrection. But if it was not, then there is no doubt that she indulged a monster. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. From now on, your job is no longer to assist the researcher. You are my maid, just be a good maid. Whatever happens, the master, will have to deal with it. You only need to think about how to please me. Xia Yu stopped, lifted Esther's chin, and looked into each other's eyes. But, he knows. What does he know? Esther immediately realized the meaning behind Xia Yu's behavior. No buts. Just like your escape, I can't control the entire Academy City, but at least it's something I do myself, and I can still control it. Since I dare, there's no problem. Please recommend. Please vote for the monthly ticket. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 136 Voting. I will update once today. I ran into a problem halfway through writing the second update. I want to ask you whether you should continue to add daily anime that are not closely related to the main plot to Magical Index. Vote 1, yes, 2, no. The decision will be made based on the statistics before 8 o'clock tomorrow. If yes, you can type out what you want to add. By the way, I would like to ask for recommendation votes. This is related to recommendation. Please support me and help me get a good recommendation this week. Please. Thank you. Please recommend. Chapter 137. It is well known that if you are contaminated by the opposite sex, you will awaken strange XP. Ring, ring. Don't be like that, I'm on the phone with Miss Kaguya. What's wrong? Hi Sokka? Did anything happen to you? Nothing, my friend was just joking with me. Okay, I know everything you said, I'll definitely prepare it for you tomorrow. Okay, I'll hang up first. Hayasaka AI quickly hung up the phone, took a long breath, rolled her eyes and glanced at Xia Yu who was standing next to her. Chairman doesn't have to go to the headquarters? It's about time to go out, come out? Okay, Xia Yu directly lifted the quilt. What are you doing? Didn't you ask me to get out of bed? I asked you to, get out of me. Catch. The door was opened by Esther, and she looked at the two people, in broad daylight with some curiosity. Hey. Come out. Hayasaka AI's face was as rosy as a red apple, and her beautiful appearance made people want to take a bite. It's okay, this child is so stupid. She doesn't understand. Who said I don't understand? Isn't it just mating? I am a necromancer after all. I know a lot about death and life. Esther frowned and said unhappily. Xia Yu's words undoubtedly tarnished her basic qualities as a necromancer. However, this child has been dealing with all kinds of corpses since she was a child, and has seen all kinds of corpses. She really has no basic understanding of men and women, life and death. For her, people are only divided into life and death. As for the rest, she doesn't understand, and she is too lazy to understand. Woo-woo, at least cover yourself with a quilt. It's up to you. Hayasaka AI hid herself in the quilt, hypnotizing herself like she was trying to cover her ears and steal the bell. What? Esther? How about, come up and try. Life and death are closely related, this seems to be a kind of practice. Today, Hayasaka and the chairman are not here? Really? The chairman is also a hands-off boss. What's wrong with Hayasaka? I remember she usually gets up very hard. At this moment, Shinomiya Kaguya, who was called regent and cabinet prime minister by some idiot team members, took over Xia Yu's daily work. Well, in fact, it is also her job on weekdays. Open the window, and the breeze pours in from outside. The gentle breeze blew across her cheeks, and Shinomiya Kaguya smiled and turned around to sit on the table where she handled things. And a green leaf was gently placed on her head by the breeze. It's all your fault. It's already dark, and I have too many things to do that Miss Kaguya asked me to do. What did she ask you to do? She asked me to prepare some discount coupons for the aquarium this Sunday, and then post them under the table at the headquarters, ? She wants to invite me to the aquarium? On what grounds? Don't want to waste money? But the aquarium you're talking about is owned by me. Isn't she being a little silly? Has her brain gone haywire from working too much lately? Actually, I think so too. What are you doing? Woohoo. The next day, early in the morning, when Kaguya Shinomiya entered the headquarters office, a familiar yet unfamiliar figure was sitting on the sofa. Your chairman actually remembers to come to work. Kaguya Shinomiya sat down opposite Xia Yu very naturally, and her hand passed under the table, with the expected touch. Very good. It seems that Hayasaka is well prepared. But isn't this plan too far-fetched? But my virtual calculation tells me that it can definitely work? How strange, Kaguya Shinomiya thought quickly, but soon put the problem in her mind behind her. Trusting her own ability, she showed a triumphant smile. She made a move, she spoke, that, Kaguya, are you free on Sunday, do you want to go out with me, Things happened too suddenly. The originally prepared offensive has not yet been launched, but it has already achieved a comprehensive strategic victory. The battle went on too fast, so Kaguya Shinomiya had no time to react. Okay, it's settled. I'll pick you up on Sunday, Okay, although I don't know what happened, at least the goal was achieved, although it was achieved inexplicably. It seems to be expected. Kaguya's superpower is virtual calculation, which is to calculate a result through the collected information, which is a special ability similar to predicting the future. And this ability is completely known to Kaguya Shinomiya, and everything is a story that starts from Kaguya Shinomiya's perspective. And Xia Yu's come. Since the last time on the beach, it has been known by the virtual calculation, so it will give Kaguya Shinomiya a plan that looks very strange. This plan has a very high probability of achieving the goal. Because, in the virtual calculation, Kaguya Shinomiya knows that she can never deal with Xia Yu with her brain, so she will give such a seemingly stupid plan, but it can achieve the goal. Although, the goal has been achieved before the plan has even started. Brief introduction. Don't let others know Hayasaka. When Hayasaka AI dragged her tired body out of bed, she recalled Shinomiya Kaguya's trust in her. Her fair face flushed, her eyes flashed with a little guilt, and her delicate tongue instinctively tasted the taste of Xia Yu in her mouth. I'm sorry, Miss Kaguya. Oh no. There was a flash of joy in Hayasaka AI's eyes, as if she was infected with a man and had a strange XP. Now, when Hayasaka AI thinks of Shinomiya Kaguya, she feels an inexplicable joy. A joy born from the guilt in her heart. Please recommend. Please vote for the monthly ticket. Chapter 138 Encounter on the Road. February the 7th. Oh, you're looking for the chairman? Yes, he's working here. You can wait for him here. I'll call him over. Fujiwara Chika took Arari into the discipline committee's headquarters office. Hey. Can I wait here? There won't be any internal documents here. Don't worry, the chairman won't put any secret documents here. What we have to deal with are small matters. The real documents are in the computer. You just wait here. I have something else to do, so I won't accompany you. With Fujiwara Chika's departure, Arari was left alone in the huge office. Arari glanced around like a thief, and then took out a square gift box from her bag. She put the gift box on the table with trembling hands, opened it, and inside was a stack of drawing paper bound in a book. Arari's face turned red, her eyes seemed to be spinning in circles, and steam came out of her head. She slowly opened the book. As she read, her face became more and more shy, but the more shy she was, the more she insisted on reading. This was the repaying gift she promised to give to Xia Yu. At that time, she agreed to it in a daze. When she returned home, she imagined all kinds of things in her mind. She regretted why she agreed to it, and she kept imagining things. Her hands also recorded everything instinctively. As a result, she finished the work in her hand in a daze. One page, and another page. Ying Lily's face was like a red apple. She put the thing into the gift box again, and her heart began to panic. She was very shy and a little worried. After a wavering in the depths of her eyes, she picked up the gift box and put it in the drawer of the desk. She picked up her bag and fled away from here. Got it. I'm on patrol with Kaguya now. It's Arari, right? Okay, I'll be right back. Who? Arari? It sounds like a girl. Kaguya Shinomiya narrowed her eyes, and her red pupils seemed to glow with danger. Yes, that's right. She's a very beautiful girl. Oh, how beautiful is she? Kaguya Shinomiya smiled, and her red eyes seemed to be reflected by the light, with a blood-red translucent feeling, and the whole danger reached the extreme. Beautiful flowers appeared in Xia Yu's hands, and he skillfully made a wreath and put it on Kaguya Shinomiya's head. It suits you very well. That? Thank you. Wait, why are you so skilled? And you haven't explained yet. Kaguya Shinomiya was caught off guard by Xia Yu's attack, and her original momentum also dissipated. What is there to explain? My little fool. Xia Yu gently stroked Kaguya Shinomiya's cheek, and with the sincerity and purity in his eyes without a trace of distracting thoughts, Kaguya Shinomiya couldn't help but fall into self-doubt. Yes. What is there to explain? That Arari should be just an ordinary friend. It's just a normal relationship. Kaguya, you are a generous person. Everything is normal. Oh, I whispered. Isn't this the Mr. Chairman from last time? Are you cheating on girls again? Last time I saw you cheating on a very beautiful girl. Suddenly, a plain and lovely voice came from the side of the two. Wei-chan, you still have a low sense of presence as always. Obviously you are a very cute girl. Xia Yu's eyes swept over and saw Kato Wei sitting on a stall on the side, raising the drink in her hand. Xia Yu directly took Kaguya Shinomiya to sit down. Oh. The chairman is not holding a grudge against me. Should I move out of Academy City? No, move out of Neon. Although she said so, Kato Megumi was not panicked at all, and she still sat opposite Xia Yu normally. Ha ha ha, I am very gentle to beautiful and cute girls, in every sense. No way. Are you targeting me? Oh. It's a headache. If I don't agree, will the terrible chairman abuse his power to force me to submit? Kato Megumi's face did not change. She supported her cute face with both hands, and said something that seemed scary, but she was not panicked at all. Oh. Megumi, you are still the same. You have such a cute face. Although it is cute to have a blank expression, but it will be better if you smile. I don't want to smile at you. Hey. Wait a minute. Do you know each other? Shinomiya Kaguya was a little confused for a moment. Of course, we are good friends. We only met once. After getting two different answers, Kaguya Shinomiya first told her that Xia Yu's answer could not be trusted, and secondly, Kato Megumi's answer was unlikely. After all, people who only met once would not be so familiar with each other. However, these did not matter. She was more concerned about another question. That, just now, Miss Kato Megumi said. Kaguya Shinomiya looked at Xia Yu. Don't listen to her nonsense, she was not there at all. Oh, Kaguya Shinomiya seemed to have noticed something wrong. Don't worry. Kaguya, you can always occupy one of my hearts. Hey, is this a confession to me? Should I accept it? Kaguya Shinomiya's brain suddenly crashed and fell into confusion. Then, how many hearts do you have? Kato Megumi continued to spoil the show expressionlessly. It depends on the actual situation. It depends on the actual situation? What does the chairman mean? Kaguya Shinomiya's brain crashed, and her originally high IQ dropped to below average. I don't believe it, unless you take it out and show it to me. Kato Megumi's mouth corners slightly raised, and her beautiful big eyes half closed as she looked at Xia Yu. No problem, look. Xia Yu's right hand flashed with thunder, and suddenly pierced through his chest, and took out a heart, shining with 5 colors, like a toy Prajna crystal colorful heart. It was the kind of love heart, not the one in the biology textbook. This is Kaguya's, this is Wei's, this is AI's, this is Shock Your House. Wait, it seems that a lot of unknown children's names have come out. I can't be dreaming. What's going on? Are there so many? And this heart, isn't it too fancy? There were a lot of strange things today, and Shinomiya Kaguya's brain really couldn't handle it, or rather, her brain didn't want her to handle it, and wanted to make herself a fool in this matter. Please recommend. Please vote for the monthly ticket. I have seen your votes, and I have also thought about the future plans. I will maintain the route of interspersing the main storyline with the plot, and will also add new daily anime characters depending on the situation. Conan, forget it, there is really nothing much to write about in Academy City. In the next few days, the plot of a certain scientific railgun will be accelerated and officially started. Chapter 139, Learning and Applying. Click as the door lock of the headquarters office was unlocked. Iinomiko walked in with a stack of documents. Were there any guests before? Iinomiko glanced at the table. There was a cup of tea on it, which had basically never been drunk. However, she didn't care. Although it was unusual to have guests here, it had nothing to do with her. She walked to the desk, put down the documents in her hand, and opened the drawer very naturally to find the corresponding information. Opening the drawer, a gift box that looked very ordinary was placed on the top. Is it from Kaguya-senpai? Or, never mind, it has nothing to do with me, let's find the documents. Putting the gift box on the table, Iinomiko kept looking for the corresponding documents. However, every time she turned it over, Iinomiko couldn't help but want to take a look at the gift box. Whose is it? Kaguya-senpai? Although Kaguya is so pretty, it's normal for someone to give her a gift. It must contain some small gifts. Could it be the chairman's? Although the chairman is usually sloppy, his appearance is indeed our face. Chika-senpai is not impossible. How about, take a look? When curiosity gathered into the sentence, Iinomiko couldn't take her eyes off the box. There is no seal. It means it has been opened. Maybe it's empty inside. Take a look. Iinomiko scanned the office where no one else was like a thief, and reached out to the gift box with her hands trembling slightly. Opened the box, and inside was a book without a cover and bound. Book? Iinomiko's little head quickly scanned again, and after confirming that it was safe, she could no longer control her curiosity and reached out to pick up the book. She hid behind the table, and after confirming that she would not be discovered directly when she opened the door, she turned to the first page. Wui no Miko's fair cheeks were replaced by a crimson, and the pupils in her beautiful eyes trembled instinctively. How can this kind of thing, appear in the sacred office of the discipline committee? I have to throw it away. No Miko's words were intermittent, but the movement of turning the pages of the book in her hands continued. Why? Because she was really curious about what happened later. When no Miko finished reading the book, her mind was in a mess. She could not remember the details in the book at all, only a few pictures and a few actions kept recalling in her mind. Wui no Miko was a little speechless, and her head was humming like a steam engine. The painting is good, hey. The sudden voice from behind made no Miko react quickly instinctively. She turned around, stepped back, and stood up. Because she was looking for something, she put the chair aside, causing no Miko to crawl into the hole under the table, causing her to hide her head when she stood up in a panic. Well, Xia Miko is also this age? But it's still a bit inappropriate to bring this thing here to see. I'm not. No Miko's speech was unclear and intermittent. Xia Yu caught a book that no Miko had just thrown away in panic. When he turned the pages in the air, Xia Yu saw it clearly. The beautiful girl in the book was Arari. However, that man had no face, looking at the others. Wui no Miko's words were stuck in her throat, her face was hot as if she had a fever. And she couldn't say anything at all. And when she realized the situation at this moment, some scenes and stories in the book just now reappeared in front of her, and Xia Yu's figure perfectly overlapped with it. Fantasy. Uneasy. Expectation? No Miko's eyes seemed to have become the mosquito-repellent eyes of the heroine in the girl's comic who was wall-banged by the domineering president. No Miko's perspective unconsciously glanced at Xia Yu's legs. The brain instinctively simulated fantasy. I'm not wearing black. No. Don't attack me, the third section of the book plot. Because of excessive imagination, and the confusion of the brain at the moment, too shy, resulting in language barriers. Do I have to watch it to know? It fits the plot perfectly, not because Xia Yu had read it with no Miko before, but because Xia Yu was the kind of person who would answer like this. The two strange plots were mixed in her mind, and no Miko's cognition was slightly wrong. Come, lift up your skirt and let me have a look. The bewitching voice like the devil of hell was transmitted to no Miko's ears, and the slightly moist heat blew on no Miko's ears. The brain crashed directly, and for a moment I didn't know what to do. Heckum, let me have a look. Xia Yu took off the glasses that he had put on at some point, smiled calmly and reached out. Well, I'm still a fledgling. Please be gentle. More than 10 minutes later. Chairman, you're here. Have you seen no Miko? I asked her to come get something, and she hasn't come back in such a long time. Fujiwara Chika pushed the door open and saw Xia Yu half lying on a chair. Oh, I see. It seems that something happened at home, so I went back. Here are the materials. Is that so? It's really rare. Not only is the chairman in the office, but he doesn't even put his feet on the table like a big shot. Fujiwara Chika teased Xia Yu with a joking look. Okay, take it and get to work. Tisk, what an evil capitalist. Put your feet on the table? It's not very convenient today. With this thought in mind, Xia Yu touched no Miko's little head. Hello. Why haven't you come back for so long? Sorry, I'm here to help when I see injustice. I'll be there soon. Just a moment. Outside, Kaguya Shinomiya and Kato Megumi were sitting together. After Kaguya Shinomiya hung up the phone, Kato Megumi waved her hand. Waiter, please give this lady a cup of matcha latte. Yes, it must be matcha, and there must be a lot of matcha on top. Why? I don't really like this kind of drink. Nothing, I just think that this drink is more suitable for you now. Kato Megumi smiled slightly, feeling quite unfathomable. Kaguya Shinomiya was a little strange, but after virtual calculation, there was no problem. Please recommend. Please vote for the monthly ticket. Chapter 140, Human God. You've made two beautiful girls wait for you for 2 hours. You're really amazing. Kato Wei supported her face with one hand and glanced at Xia Yu with a calm look. It was obviously very calm, just like the casual look of an ordinary passerby, but it seemed to be able to see through people's hearts and make people feel uneasy instinctively. Of course, this is a normal person. Oh. I just saw an old lady crossing the road on the road, so I helped her. Then I guess you have helped thousands of old ladies. Yes. Kato Wei looked at Xia Yu, who was really just finding a reason to force himself on her, and sighed helplessly. This is Academy City, a city where 80% of the people are students. There are more than 20 areas here, and it's good to have hundreds of elderly people in each area. Okay, then you can continue to stroll. I'm leaving first. Wait a minute. Wei-chan, do you want to come with me? Why in this situation, I'm not surprised at all when you say such words from your mouth. Inviting another beautiful girl while taking a beautiful girl. This is something that no matter how bad a scumbag is, he can't say it so confidently. But Kato Megumi was not surprised at all. It was as if Xia Yu should have been able to say it. Well, let's do it together. Wei, let me thank you for waiting here with me. Kato Megumi looked at Shinomiya Kaguya in surprise. She always thought Xia Yu was abnormal, but she didn't expect that this child was not very normal either. Okay, don't refuse. Let's get to know him better. So how deep do you want to go? Well, Xia Yu's eyes swept down from Kato Megumi's lips and stopped at the position of his thighs. Wei, how deep do you want to go? This kind of a question is obviously sexual harassment. Why would Academy City let you be in charge of public security? And, making such dirty jokes with girls will be hated. Then do you hate me? Hate, not like it. That's right. Under normal circumstances, if Xia Yu did this, let alone a girl like Kato Megumi who was too familiar with him, even his childhood sweetheart would feel disgusted with him. And Kato Megumi's two experiences with Xia Yu were not very good, and could even be said to be bad. But I can't hate him. I don't know why, but I just can't hate him. This has little to do with appearance. Even if an LS sees someone with top-notch looks but bad behavior, he will instinctively hate him because of the education he received. Even if he still likes to see him, it is because he likes his appearance. For the person himself, it is still disgusting. But people will not hate gods because of some small things, just like basically everyone knows. In order to show his authority, God sent a flood that almost destroyed mankind. Zeus himself is a super scumbag, and he even devoured his wife for his own power. These things that are completely unacceptable to human morality, humans will not directly feel disgust. Maybe, according to acquired evolution, they will still hate them in the end, but they will not hate them directly just because of these. Because people think that they are not the same thing as themselves, but a special existence, so they will not be constrained by morality. And when that existence comes, no matter what myth it is, when gods and other high-ranking beings come, whether it is human beings or any life, they will instinctively feel good about it. Because gods are the manifestation of the world, and no one will hate the world, because the world gave birth to all things and is the mother of all things, and instinctively, lives will be full of good feelings towards the world. Xia Yu is the god of man, that is, the god that people should give birth to. He himself is the manifestation of mankind and a corner of mankind. No matter how unbearable he is, no one will really hate himself. Because people love themselves after all. Whether it is the noble self, or the self who tramples on morality and is humble, the dirty self, the arrogant self. No one will hate himself. Xia Yu is like a special mirror. No one will feel disgusted with the self on the other side of the mirror. So, no one will hate Xia Yu. Even if Xia Yu gave Kato Wei to her in the street now, she would not be disgusted. Of course, Xia Yu would not be disgusted either. Xia Yu is dirty, noble, and despicable. As long as it is what a person has, he is the limit of what a person can do. However, there are some things that people cannot reach their limits. For example, selfishness and curiosity. When people become completely selfish, there is no limit, and they don't even need the slightest reason, just like the saying goes. If a man does not work for himself, he will be punished by heaven and earth. Xia Yu is very willful. Everything he likes belongs to him. This is his selfishness. If it is his, he will not allow others to take advantage of it. Shinomiya Kaguya followed behind Xia Yu and Kato Megumi. Although she was the heroine of today, she looked like a passerby. I don't know why, but I feel that Kato Megumi and Xia Yu's aura seem to fit very well. When Shinomiya Kaguya lowered her head, her hand was pulled up by Xia Yu. Kaguya, come, try this. Xia Yu put a piece of jewelry that was not very expensive, and even cheap in terms of assets, on Shinomiya Kaguya's head. Very beautiful. Although he was very depressed before, when Xia Yu put the jewelry on her head, He couldn't help but show a beautiful smile on his face. Ah, she's an easy-to-please girl. Kato Megumi looked at Shinomiya Kaguya, shrugged and thought to herself. Look, isn't that the chairman, huh? On the other side, Hatsuharu Shikari and Shirai Kurako passed by while on patrol. Yet, but, dating two girls at the same time? You're the same scumbag as always. Well, don't say that. By the way, aren't we going to enter higher school soon? Which one did you apply for, Kurako? I'm already a level 4 powerful Esper, and I applied to Tokaiwade Junior High School, Tokaiwade. That's great. I heard that there are all young ladies there. I want to go too, but I'm just a level 1 weak Esper. Hatsuharu is also amazing. Kurako, if you know any young ladies there, please introduce them to me. I heard that Tokaiwade has 2 Esper users. Well, it seems that the 4th place electric shock user a certain scientific railgun, and the 6th place psychological mastery, both of them, are level 5, a Esper. That must be the eldest of the young ladies. That's great. I'm so envious. Please vote for recommendation. Please vote for the monthly pass. Chapter 141 Transaction. Hey Chairman. You're like this all day. Isn't your brain congested? What's the matter? In the cultivation chamber filled with red light, Aleister opened his eyes and looked at this factor that could make Academy City as stable as Mount Tai, but made the plan with Academy City as the theme unstable. According to your plan, the family of Dolly should be ready. I'm here to negotiate. Negotiate? What's there to negotiate? They are just mass-produced products worth 180,000 yen each. What? Are you planning to use them to replace the 4th place to experience the feeling? With your ability, it shouldn't be difficult to get the 4th place. Why bother with these soulless dolls? Aleister looked at Xia Yu, and there seemed to be a hint of playfulness in his eyes. Xia Yu thought silently for a while. That's right, so far they are really just dolls worth 180,000 yen each, without the slightest soul, just an empty vehicle, to put it bluntly, just high-end inflatable girlfriends. There's really no need. For Xia Yu, this kind of empty shell is actually worthless. Chairman, well, maybe it's. I love the whole house and the whole dog. After all, people always have some strange behaviors, and I know your plan. So, I promise to help you complete the original task. How about it? These are empty shells, but they have almost the same genetic structure as Misaka Mikado after all. As mentioned before, the soul is infinite, and the soul power shown by a person is only the limit of the physical state, not the real power of the soul. The 20,000 Misaka sisters that Aleister ordered to prepare used to carry and share the soul. After all, they have the same body structure as Misaka Mikado, and can deceive the soul to a certain extent. By making them feel the crisis, they can call on the body's instincts and strengthen the body's approach to the soul that is connected to them, thereby amplifying the ability of electromagnetic force to a greater extent. Through the electromagnetic force between them, a virtual world is constructed. Xia Yu knows what Aleister wants to do, artificial heaven. If Misaka Mikado can reach level 6, then this plan is naturally unnecessary, but it is almost impossible for Misaka Mikado to reach level 6. The scientists of Academy City never put the absolute 1% of probability on the table. If 99% is not possible, then it is not possible. Although Aleister believes in the 1% possibility, he will not gamble, or there is no need to gamble. There is obviously a better way, isn't it? Therefore, Misaka's sister is very important to this plan. Aleister will never allow Xia Yu to be here to deceive him. Even if he is fine now, he will find a way to promote the plan. If it reaches a certain level, I am afraid that Xia Yu will be sealed up. Xia Yu has no doubt that Aleister has this ability. This greatest magician of the 20th century is even capable of killing the demon. Therefore, necessary negotiations are necessary. For Misaka's sister, it is not necessary to bleed, and there are other ways to make them grow to the point that Aleister needs. Aleister does not do this just because it is unnecessary. Yes, the ultimate goal is very important. However, there are simple processes. Why use difficult ones? Misaka's sister is just a tool made by Aleister. Just like a programmer, if you can delete a part of the program and make the system work, why bother to keep debugging and maintain these programs? Okay. I'll only give you half a year. If you can't achieve it, then I'm sorry. Since Xia Yu is willing to take over the debugging work, Aleister doesn't mind. It doesn't matter anyway, as long as the goal can be achieved. He doesn't care about the process. He is not a math teacher. He only cares about the result. By the way, the plan started today. They seem to have found accelerator. Well, it doesn't matter if 1 or 2 less, don't bother with that. I've arranged it. You shouldn't be able to see it, Xia Yu chuckled. The eyes of the man in front of him were filled with 99% of the Academy City, and that one piece of land was Xia Yu's place. Hey! This thing is not used like this. In the alley at night, a white figure stood proudly. He stretched out his arm to block the attack of Misaka No. 1, and pushed it directly into the wall. Accelerator, the second of the 8 level 5s standing at the top of Academy City. Her long white hair fluttered slightly in the breeze at night, and her slender arms picked up the gun on the ground. Yuzi? It's an antique. You want to fight me with this thing? Really? Is that bastard Kahara fooling me? And are you really a clone of the 4th place? What about your ability? Accelerator kicked Misaka No. 1's head, and the huge force directly opened a huge pit and a lot of cracks under her feet, and her feet were once stuck in it. Misaka No. 1 just looked at Accelerator with a dull look, like a puppet that acts according to the program. Hey! You guy! Accelerator looked unfriendly, grabbed Misaka No. 1's collar and pulled her out of the wall. Her eyes met with Misaka No. 1, and then she let go of her hand. Misaka No. 1's body fell to the ground, raising a cloud of dust. It's just a puppet after all. Well, let's finish this and go back, okay? Hey, let go of that girl. A figure appeared at the entrance of the alley. Really? Can't you even clean up the place? A bunch of trash. Hey! Stop meddling in other people's business and get out of here quickly. This way you can save your life. Killing someone in Academy City is considered a serious crime. Although this is a laboratory that doesn't take human life seriously, it is still necessary to maintain order on the surface. If you cause unnecessary commotion, you will definitely be suppressed by the higher-ups. And Accelerator doesn't actually want to kill anyone. I refuse. Accelerator, do you know me? It seems you didn't come in by mistake. I'll give you a chance to tell me your name. I'm just a psychic passing by. Psychic? Do you want to step on me to improve your ranking? Then come on, please recommend. Please vote for the monthly ticket. Chapter 142 Flirting with One Party. Xia Yu, machine, looked at Accelerator in front of him. His eyes were as always from top to bottom. Snow-white long hair, blood-red eyes, sickly white skin due to lack of sunlight ultraviolet rays, wearing a relatively loose sportswear, and a very good face, summed up as a sick beauty. Well, originally, I thought he was a neutral man when I saw the photo, but I didn't expect him to be a beauty. You have to be a little careful when you attack like this, otherwise I will be very sad if I hurt your face, ? What did you say? Facing Xia Yu's teasing words, Accelerator frowned, and a murderous look emerged in his eyes. Let me see if your strength is as strong as your tone. Don't end up like her on the ground, like a stinky salted fish on the shore, begging for mercy from me. Your metaphor is really bad. It's easy to defeat you, just like it's natural to wet your pants when you pee in the wind. Xia Yu raised the corner of his mouth, as if mocking and sneer. Then don't let the wind dodge your scorpion. Don't spit out the scorpion, keep it in your mouth. Xia Yu stepped forward. Little thief, you actually came towards me? Don't you know my ability? Do you know? As long as I touch you lightly, you will be like a tomato being crushed by a steamroller, and blood will splatter on the spot. If I don't get close to you, how can I press you to the ground and spank you hard? Then get closer. The footsteps of the two people kept getting closer, and when the distance between the two reached 2 meters, bang, the blazing thunder collided with the invisible vector, and the dazzling lightning and the terrifying hurricane burst out between the two. Bang, one of Xia Yu's legs was directly broken and scattered. A cripple? I wanted to test how much stronger I am than you, but it seems unnecessary. Let me kill you like this. Accelerator crossed his arms and smiled sarcastically on his face. What you call a try is to gently touch the opponent's leg. It's a pity for my $20,000 mechanical leg. Xia Yu glanced at the broken parts scattered on the ground, and with a thought, the electromagnetic force condensed into Link, and pieced the leg together again. Let's see how hard you can be. Let me destroy you with my vector manipulation. It seems that we have the same type of ability. Although it seems basic, it is extremely practical and powerful. Go to hell. Invisible ripples appeared on Accelerator's hand, and he touched Xia Yu directly. intending to make Xia Yu's blood flow backwards and his whole body collapse directly. How to dig more roads? The terrifying amount of calculation burst out from Xia Yu's mechanical body, using the vector manipulation just simulated to control every atom around, stopping every atom from running, but everything stopped. I can't move. Accelerator continued to use his own ability to fight, but Xia Yu's overwhelming amount of calculation completely suppressed Accelerator. 1 second has passed. Accelerator. This is a one-way street now. I won't even need a second to kill you, asshole. Asshole. At some point, Xia Yu had come behind Accelerator, and the sense of crisis from behind made Accelerator panic. Oh, you showed mercy. This child only broke a few bones. It seems that you still want this child to beg for mercy and then let her go. Xia Yu picked up Misaka no. One who was lying on the ground and briefly checked her condition. If Accelerator wanted to kill Misaka number 1, he only needed to touch her to turn her into a pile of flesh and blood. Nonsense. I didn't. I just wanted to enjoy her screams. Even if she begged for mercy, I would kill her. 4-6 This taste. It's the taste of lying. You lied, Accelerator. A tongue with a little saliva stretched out from the mechanical body. Don't get me wrong, spatial ability. It left a little mark on Accelerator's face. You bastard. I'm going to kill you. Ouch, oh I'm so scared. But you can't move now, and you're exposed in front of me. You're a sick beauty. What can I do to you? Ugh bastard, let me go, let me go. Bastard, I'm going to kill you. When Xia Yu put both hands on her waist, Accelerator's reaction was like an ordinary girl encountering a cockroach. In an instant, her scalp went numb, and the hairs on her body stood up. The insecurity in her heart reached the limit. Hey. I'm kidding you, okay? I'll slip away first, don't worry. After I leave, the time stop will be released naturally. Xia Yu is now just a mechanical body, which is really powerless. If the real body is here, it is possible that he will really shoot Accelerator, but since that's the case, forget it. The sudden release made Accelerator fall flat on the ground without time to adjust. Asshole. I'll remember you. Accelerator thought of the humiliation just now, and the other humiliation that Xia Yu didn't covet her beauty and just left. With a wave of his hand, the vector wrapped the atoms to form a hurricane, directly turning the buildings on both sides into ruins. One person can fight against a country, and it is said that even in the center of an atomic bomb explosion, he will be unscathed at level 5, Accelerator. Although there are still many hidden strong people in the world, on the surface, he is undoubtedly at the top level. If he goes crazy, he is a dangerous person who can destroy a country. Even the 5 big gangsters, he can shake them with his own strength. Especially a superpower with a short history and relatively weak mysterious power. Asshole. Asshole. At this moment, just Accelerator's temper can plow a large area. Accelerator. Stop what you are doing. Stop. What just happened? Tisk. Accelerator took off the headset and threw it aside, with a disdainful attitude on his face. A bunch of idiots. Don't they even know what happened? Who is that guy? The 4th, 5th and 6th are all women, and the 3rd and 8th are obviously not. 7th? No, the 1st? Although the 1st is said to be just a researcher, and is evaluated as the 1st because of his ability. But, it may not be. Well, even if it is someone who has just reached level 5, it is not impossible. Damn it. Let me find you. I will tear you to pieces. The blood-red eyes flashed with cold light, and the slender fingers clenched into fists. Please recommend. Please vote for the monthly ticket. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 143 will be reviewed and recommended tomorrow. Please vote for recommendation. Please. I want your votes. Tomorrow is Friday, and it's time for recommendations. I'm begging for your votes. I'm preparing to update a lot, but I plan to release it before the release. It should be tomorrow, I'm not sure, it depends on the editor. After all, I'll have to say goodbye to some friends after the release, and finally let me repay your support over the past few days. I can't guarantee the number of updates, I can only say it will be more than 5. I will do my best to prepare, and I'm asking you again at this last minute. Please. I want your votes. Chapter 144 Taking Over the Laboratory. In the laboratory full of the symbol of Academy City, a group of people in white research uniforms are busy. What's wrong with this accelerator? What happened? He suddenly went crazy just now and now he can't be contacted. Hey. Kaharasuda, what's going on, huh? Are you ordering me? The two researchers seem to have a conflict. No. I don't dare. Facing the questioning of Kaharasuda, who looked like a gangster, had a tough temperament and didn't look like a researcher at all, the emotions in the researcher's heart were instantly suppressed by reason. He was just an insignificant tool for this experiment and even for Academy City, while Kaharasuda was a Kahara clan with a considerable status in this city. If Kaharasuda was really provoked, then he disappeared and no one would ask a question. Well, Suda, don't make things difficult for him. Haha. Compared to this. What's wrong with accelerator classmate? An old man adjusted the atmosphere from the side. He was the person in charge of this experiment, Kahara Gensei. Who knows, but we must have encountered an unexpected situation. Facing Kahara Gensei, Kaharasuda was not so aggressive, but spoke calmly. Hey, hello everyone, who are you? Is that, number one? What's going on? Isn't number one in the test field, oh Kaharasuda? Oh, Kahara Gensei. From now on, this place is called Xia Yu Square. You, our incorporated, Xia Yu appeared out of thin air carrying Misaka number one, and his eyes swept around, passing Kaharasuda and Kahara Gensei, and stopped at a girl with short dark hair, fierce eyes, and a slender figure. I remember, your name is Fatsuko Toshin, right? You are a famous genius in the field of biological psychiatry. Interesting. Xia Yu put Misaka number one on the chair. Hey. Stop being so arrogant. Even if you are the first place, you should be polite. Don't you know how to respect your seniors? Kaharasuda shouted rudely like a gangster. Squeak! A beam of green light pierced Kaharasuda's thigh. Kaharasuda, who do you think you are talking to? The mice in your laboratory. Smoke was coming out of Xia Yu's fingertips. He had just taught Kaharasuda a lesson with a beam formed by atomic collapse. You, bastard, you are getting cocky. Do you know where this is? Yet. I understand, Chairman. Suddenly, Kahara Gensei seemed to have received some information through his earphones. He kept nodding his head, and then. Very impressive, Xia Yu classmate. Congratulations, you have become the master here. We have worked hard for so long, but you took the spoils. Goodbye. Kahara Gensei's expression did not change at all. He seemed to have no anger at having the fruits of victory taken away from him when he had accomplished his goal. They are the Kahara clan, a clan of genius scientists. Emotions are the last thing a researcher can bring with him. Since the order came from above, he can only execute it. Otherwise, there will be no result except a few more corpses in the river tomorrow. Shudo, go. What? This little bastard dared to do this to me and just left like that. The chairman's order. Tisk, little bastard, wait. There will be a day when you are useless. When that time comes, the legendary super rough stone. I have long wanted to. Bang! The bullet was fired from the pistol in Kahara Gensei's hand, piercing Kaharasuda's head. Blood splattered on the white floor tiles. And Kaharasuda's expression remained at that second. Just go if I tell you to go. Why do you have to talk so much? Now you don't have to go. Kahara Gensei received a new instruction in the headset. Kaharasuda, he talks too much? The Kahara clan is the real backbone of Academy City's fight against magic, but the value of one or two of them is no different from what they think of as guinea pigs. Academy City is very big, it doesn't matter if there are fewer people. As for Xia Yu, he is currently a partner who can barely be considered as wearing the same pants with a Leicester. Anyway, this Kaharasuda will not be able to walk out alive, so why not do a favor to Xia Yu? It will look better if we take the initiative, right? Clean this guy up. Don't tell me you don't have any preparations here. What is this place? It's a research room. Corpses are the most abundant thing here, and the way to deal with corpses is naturally the same. Kahara Gensei took away Kaharasuda's corpse. Only Xia Yu, the boss who came from nowhere, and a group of researchers who looked at each other in fear were left. The boss's overly strong appearance just now made these graduate students instinctively lower their heads. Even Xia Yu felt a sense of fear when he looked at him. Everyone, I'm in charge here. Everyone should do their job. That person, Fatsuki Toshin, that's you, will be the head of this laboratory. You will only be responsible to me, and even the board of directors doesn't need to care. Yes. Fatsuki Toshin walked out in small steps, glanced at the blood on the ground that had not been cleaned up, and nodded. Now, stop the Absolute Power User project. When Xia Yu said this, it immediately caused an uproar. Many researchers looked at each other, but no one responded. This is the chairman. I said that from now on, this laboratory will only be responsible to me. Xia Yu smiled and stopped Fatsuki Toshin's words. Fatsuki Toshin immediately lowered his head, but he was happy in his heart. Speaking of it, Fatsuki Toshin was very ashamed. As a researcher, she had developed feelings for a test subject. She had a great resistance to the Absolute Power User, but she was powerless in the face of the darkness of Academy City. Now, someone directly fulfilled her inner wish, and she was naturally very happy. I'll make a new plan, called the Artificial Heaven Plan, and let them study this book. You are mainly responsible for observing their status. Do you understand? Understood. Naturally, many researchers did not dare to offend Xia Yu. No matter what changes had taken place in the plan, they were just researchers after all. Here, they were actually no different from those people with special abilities. They were all at the bottom of the Academy City. No matter what, it was just a struggle between the top leaders. A familiar ceiling, Misaka thought. Misaka number 1 woke up, and Xia Yu had treated him on the way. Hey Misaka Kyoko, you woke up. Misaka Kyoko, that's your name, remember? Because I saved you with my own hands, so I gave you a name. After Xia Yu finished speaking to Misaka Kyoko, he immediately told Fatsuki Toshinori, all the Misaka sisters, remember, it's all, you guys are the ones who get the names. I don't care how the names come from. Even if you see a telephone pole or an airport and name them Misaka Telephone Pole or Misaka Airport, I don't care, but there must be a name. And it can't be repeated. Do you understand? Understood. Fatsuki Toshinori looked very happy. Of course she was happy, because a name is the first gift a person gets when they come to this world, and when they have a name, no matter if it's ugly or not, it means that they are considered human beings. It also means that this boss regards the Misaka sisters as human beings. Please recommend. Please vote for the monthly ticket. Chapter 145 Accelerator's Little Experiment. Hey. Who are you? Kahara Gensei? Where is that Kahara Suda guy? Accelerator was walking on the road. In a bad mood, he did not go back immediately, but planned to find some blind people to vent his anger. He's dead. What? Dead? Ho-ha-ho-ha? This guy, he's so arrogant, but he's actually such a piece of shit. Accelerator, your observers have been transferred from us to the Jiaxian Xinhou Research Institute. Oh, they can actually ask for people from the famous Kahara clan? It seems that this Jiaxian Xinhou has a strong background. What? Is it the main research institute newly established by the council? Does this mean that your Kahara is not valuable enough? Old man, don't be like that bastard Sudo, who died casually. That would be so boring. Don't worry about it, brat. By the way, the Absolute Ability User Plan has been suspended. What? I came here in person, just once, and it's suspended just like that? I don't agree. Accelerator disagreed, not because he wanted to continue killing Misaka's sister or felt that this so-called plan could really make her an Absolute Ability user, that is, level 6. It was mainly because in her opinion, the guy who came to save Misaka's sister today would definitely come to save others later, and then she would take revenge and defeat him, and she would personally break his organs. The secondary reason was that she was embarrassed to be called upon and dismissed at will. This is what the higher-ups mean. There's no point in you objecting. Okay, that's it. Beep beep. Hey, Accelerator laughed sarcastically. She didn't feel anything about the death of her observer Kahara Suda. After all, as far as she knew, Kahara Suda was a complete villain. He was dead, so he was dead. It wasn't worth her making any expression. She felt she was at a loss even for sneer. Then, her phone received a new address, which was the so-called next observatory, or the location of the research institute. However, Accelerator didn't care about this now. She wanted to go back to the base where the Absolute Ability user experimented. Why? Of course, she was going to cause trouble. After all, she had to get back her face for such a shameful thing. It was just right for her to vent her anger. Accelerator showed a broken smile, but still did not use his ability. Instead, he walked slowly forward. There was no need to rush. Hey. That girl, it's so late, why haven't you gone home yet? Which school are you from, A soft and cute voice came from the intersection. Accelerator turned around and saw a little lolly with pink hair and 4 girls who didn't get along well with her. Accelerator looked around and found that there were only 2 groups of people, so he pointed at himself innocently. Yes, it's you. Why don't you go home so late? Is it forbidden to stay overnight? Which school are you from? The teacher will send you back, the pink lolly said. Yes, this is Yu Xiaomeng and the 4-member group of the Ghoul Corps. After Xia Yu studied the abilities and structure of these 4 guys a little, he threw them to Yu Xiaomeng and asked her to educate them well. Yu Xiaomeng is also very welcome to such problem students. As for how to make the 4-member group of the Ghoul Corps who hate teachers obedient and not attack Yu Xiaomeng, it's very simple. Use power to suppress people, economic blockade. No matter what the Ghoul Corps is like, they still have to live. Xia Yu used a little power to recruit a Ghoul army, and withheld their funds in all aspects. If they wanted to get funds, they could only get the corresponding funds based on Tsukikomo scores at the end of each month. There was no other way. Life forced them to turn over a new leaf. You? Teacher, Accelerator looked weird. Hey. How rude. Don't look at the teacher with the eyes of "is this guy crazy?" Look, I have an ID. Tsukikomo showed the ID hanging around her neck. Has Academy City already experimented with technology that can make people rejuvenate? Accelerator's expression became even weirder. She suddenly felt that the city seemed even darker. And the look she gave Tsukikomo was even more pitiful. Hey. Don't put on that face. Look at the innocent little white mouse's expression. Well. It seems that you really need to be disciplined. I'm going to let you play with Goblin's eggs. Catch her, kinking. Tsukuyomi Xiaomeng can't let such a student wander the streets in the middle of the night. Although the house is indeed a bit crowded, this is what a teacher should do. When Accelerator looked at Kinking Taramu rushing towards her, he recalled the move that Xia Yu performed in his mind. Yes. How to dig a lot of roads. Accelerator sprayed highly compressed gas from behind, and his body quickly approached Kinking Taramu. Before Kinking Taramu could react, his arm pressed on her face. To put it bluntly, as long as she thought about it, Kinking Taramu would undoubtedly be turned into a bloody ragdoll. However, she began to experiment with a possibility she had just calculated. The power of vector manipulation was attached to every atom in Kinking Taramu's body. When every atom stopped functioning, it was equivalent to time being suspended. The pocket watch of Kinking Taramu was stopped, and it remained motionless. This operation is not high-end for the ability user who can directly act on atoms. It mainly requires a huge amount of hard calculations from the ability user, otherwise it is easy to have problems. Kinking. Damn, you guy. The clothes on Sakuramaki Mingai quickly decomposed into paper, and then organized into an armor that looked like a rabbit doll's clothes. Wait a minute, while others were organizing, she rushed up stubbornly. So. Strange telekinesis ability, the huge figure also became motionless. Well. I've had enough fun, forget it. You bastards, Accelerator smiled, and the vector compressed hurricane formed a jet system like wings behind him. Accelerator flew up directly like a rocket. And the moment Accelerator's hands left. Hey. Where's the enemy, Kinking? Strange, where's that guy? Because they themselves had no power to resist, their brain cells were also suspended, so they had no memory. Are you okay? You scared the teacher to death. I'm sorry. I won't let you take risks anymore. It's okay. It's okay. Didn't teacher Xiaomeng know about it? That girl? I must teach her a lesson next time we meet. Chapter 146 Accelerator Attacks. Hey. Who named this Misaka Airport? Didn't he say yes? He told you to die? Why don't you die? He didn't let you. Fatsuki Toshin was mobilizing the researchers to start naming. It was easy to let these researchers do experiments, but naming was really difficult for them. So all kinds of strange names appeared, such as Misaka Airport. Bang! The ceiling of the laboratory was directly dug open, and the violent hurricane poured into the laboratory from the gap. In a short moment, the whole laboratory was in chaos. When the hurricane that made people unable to open their eyes stopped, a white girl appeared in the laboratory. Accelerator? How could you? Fatsuki Toshin's expression changed from unbelievable to clear, and the person who came was not friendly. Oh, are you the new person in charge here? That's number 1. Accelerator's eyes swept across the laboratory, and when he passed by Misaka Kyoko, his eyes were fixed on her. The wear and tear of her clothes and the small scratches on her body were exactly what she remembered. She's not number one. It's Kyoko, Misaka Kyoko, Fatsuka Tashin argued loudly with Accelerator, and the fear of Accelerator in his eyes turned into determination. Kyoko? Ho-ha, you actually gave a name to a toy? Are you an elementary school student? Ha. Accelerator laughed at Fatsuka Tashin very loudly, and her finger pointed at Misaka Kyoko, who was sitting on the chair with lifeless eyes like a doll. Her eyes were full of sarcasm. In the previous battle, she had completely discovered that although these things had human structures and flesh and blood, they were just a group of dolls. Shut up. They can become human beings. I don't allow you to continue to insult them. Fatsuka Tashin's calves were trembling slightly. She knew very well what would happen to her if she angered Accelerator. It was estimated that her blood would stain every corner of this laboratory red. However, she still stood up. Humph. Where is the guy who brought this guy here? The experiment should be stopped because of that guy. Tell me. I'll let you go. Accelerator was originally here to cause trouble for this laboratory, but when she saw Misaka Kyoko, she planned to go directly to Xia Yu for trouble. I don't know. Bang! A strong wind burst out during Accelerator's ordinary wave, and directly slapped Fatsuki Tashin against a large glass wall behind him. I'll give you one more chance. I really don't know. The hurricane once again rolled up in the institute, and many researchers were swept to the ground by the hurricane. Speak. Accelerator appeared in front of Fatsuki Tashin's face, and the blood-red eyes carrying madness seemed to reflect the picture of hell, which made Fatsuki Tashin hallucinate. A huge terror wrapped around her body, and an invisible force seemed to be dividing her flesh and blood. I really don't know. When the words came out, it seemed as if time was frozen by Accelerator's momentum, and every cell in Fatsuki Tashin's body was wailing at Accelerator's momentum. Tisk, you bastard. Accelerator suddenly retracted her momentum. She had confirmed that Fatsuka Tashin really didn't know. So, killing Fatsuka Tashin was just impotent rage. Misaka Kyoko, right? I'll take this guy away, and ask that bastard to redeem her. Accelerator walked towards Misaka Kyoko with a casual step. Stop. Fatsuka Tashin struggled to get up. But her body couldn't muster any strength because of the injury and oppression just now. Hey. Little girl, Xia Yu's voice was transmitted to this laboratory. You are really looking at me. Bastard. As soon as she came in, Accelerator felt a sense of being watched, so she tried to force Xia Yu to come forward. You're overthinking. I don't have that much free time to pay attention to you. It just so happens. Accelerator. There's no need to embarrass these guys and those kids. If you're not afraid of death, just come by yourself. Did Ikahara Gently send you an address? Come on. I'm right here. Humph. Ho-ha. Are you challenging me? Ho-ha. Don't get it wrong, you're challenging me. If you have the guts, come over. This place can make you a real level 6. Of course, there must be a price, which is not worth mentioning compared to the value of level 6, but you may not like it. Bang! The strong wind generated by Accelerator's wave broke the speaker Xia Yu used to speak, and her expression became very arrogant and wanton. Who do you think you are talking to? I'm Accelerator. This place has become a one-way street vector wrapped in a hurricane, turned into a gust of wind wings, and Accelerator once again opened a hole in the ceiling. Hell, she will definitely come. A virtual screen formed in front of Xia Yu, and the screen was locked on Accelerator, who was flying at high speed. Light condensed into a figure that seemed to be a woman behind Xia Yu, and the wings of light illuminated the entire laboratory. Thanks, AWAS. I don't have money to charge the battery. Stop joking. What are you going to do with Accelerator? You know, she is an important part of Aleister's plan. AWAS's ethereal and noisy voice spread to Xia Yu's mind. Hey. AWAS, aren't you Aleister's partner? What? It's not appropriate to tell me his plan. Aleister's plan is very interesting, but it is boring to develop too smoothly, and Aleister is also boring, so. I think you are very interesting, and I want to invest in you. AWAS's eyes were focused on the beautiful figure in Xia Yu's arms and the cute pervert under Xia Yu's feet. Don't think I will give you dividends if you are not satisfied, then I can only pay with my body. Xia Yu kissed the well-behaved Tiamat beside him, and stepped on Nayako even harder. How? 2 material worlds? Where did you get them from? The mother goddess of creation, the ancient god representing the earth, is also the earth material in Kabbalah. Do you know how Zeus got the throne of the king of gods in Greek mythology? Accelerator is coming. How are you going to deal with him? Xia Yu had answered the question with a question, and Awis looked at the screen, only to see that Accelerator had already reached the roof. Go. Nyako-chan, catch her for me, next time I can be more rough. Xia Yu raised his foot and said to Nyako with a smile on his face. Yes. Chapter 147 Universe CQC. Boom! The hurricane, which was like a laser knife, instantly opened a hole on the top floor of Xia Yu's research institute, and his body fell directly in. Hello Accelerator, come on. Let's play games. If you lose, I will cruelly infuse good things into your body, asshole. I will kill you. Accelerator waved his hand casually, and then set off a real gust of wind, and its impact was comparable to the impact of a large truck at full speed. A large number of microphones were destroyed, and Accelerator began to march wildly. Robots carrying various weapons and using various abilities came from all directions and attacked Accelerator. Atomic collapse beams, electromagnetic force shocks, atmospheric suppression, etc., all kinds of abilities continued to attack. For Accelerator, he only needed to move forward. The moment all abilities touched his body, they were analyzed, interpreted, and reflected by his calculations. The fancy abilities came like a tidal wave, and all returned by the original route, destroying a large number of robots. You bastard. Are you going to let these pieces of junk come to deal with me? If that's all, then wait for me to tear your head off. Don't worry, Accelerator-san, I will definitely make you feel very comfortable and happy, and then, you will definitely cry and beg me for more. Tisk, you bastard who can only talk nonsense. The terrifying vector reflection spread from his skin to the outside, and the walls and machines were all turned into wasteland. Oh. How irritable, such a lovely face is wasted. Xia Yu's figure seemed to appear behind Accelerator in an instant, his body pressed against Accelerator, and his hand gently stroked Accelerator's face. Asshole! Accelerator immediately released a vector wave behind him, the earth was lifted up, and the air was shaken. Accelerator bit his silver teeth lightly, hating Xia Yu's behavior. Suddenly, the atmosphere suddenly changed. A strange breath spread, and Accelerator, who felt this breath, felt a chill on his back. Press it down. He locked his eyes in front of him and looked closely. A beautiful girl with silver hair and blue eyes, wearing a short dress similar to a maid outfit, was posing in a strange posture in front of him. It is worth noting that the girl has 2 dog ears and long hair on her head, and even the dog tail that keeps shaking behind her. Exclamation mark. This is, Accelerator's calculations made it very simple for him to know that it was not a so-called pendant plugin, but a real tail. Academy City. I thought I had already gone deep into the darkness. But I didn't expect it to be in the light. Accelerator smiled tremblingly, her face was extremely ugly. She thought of the previous teacher Xiao Meng, and looked at the dog girl in front of her. Rejuvenation, Orc girl, what can she do in this dirty Academy City? It must be prepared for the guys above to enjoy. Ha! Accelerator shouted angrily, and the vector wrapped in the air vented her anger. The hurricane blew over Nyako, making her skirt rustle. Come on. Damn villain, let me, the Cosmic Superman, defeat you. Nyako has seen some strange things recently, and her fighting style has become a little strange. Oh. Xia Yu changed her appearance. After all, he is the evil god of existence. It's okay to exist. Get out of the way. Accelerator's anger turned into a gust of wind, pressing towards Nyako like a tsunami. And this little bit of wind is just a small hairdryer for a guy like Nyako, whose body size could withstand several galaxies or even more exaggerated. My master is behind me. If I retreat, then I will fall out of favor. That guy will definitely lock me up for billions of years. That would be too boring. Nyako's original chick style became a bit desolate. Billions of years? She must be insane. Damn. What kind of training did she receive? Accelerator's brain thought quickly, but her expression did not change at all. She said, since you won't let me, don't blame me. The hurricane behind her formed the wings of wind, and it quickly jumped dozens of meters like 2 rocket launchers and came to the front of Nyako. Just knock her out, Accelerator thought in his heart. But, ha-boom, the ground cracked, and a large number of cracks continued to expand from under Accelerator. Although she was not injured because of her ability, she was a little confused. Why is there such a terrifying power in the slender arms of the girl in front of her, and why did her vector manipulation not rebound? Bang! Accelerator was thrown out by Nyako, and she quickly adjusted her body and stood up again in the air. She looked at the girl in front of her in disbelief. That terrifying strange power seemed to be unaffected by vector manipulation. Moreover, once she comes into contact with other people, vector manipulation should understand their body structure. And this. She seemed to have nothing except a headache. Let me defeat you. The indescribable holy sword of the universe CQC. I saw Nyako put her hand under her skirt and took out a crowbar that was almost as tall as her. Space cloth. She had heard of this invention. It seemed to be a space-based technology that could connect to other places. Bang! The body suddenly rushed out, and the crowbar in his hand swung quickly. I can't react. So fast. In an instant, Accelerator lost consciousness. Hey, Nyako took back the crowbar again, and a blush appeared on her face. She felt something was wrong. The various scenes that were originally destroyed gradually dissipated and turned into their original appearance. From the beginning, Accelerator was fighting in a space created by Xia Yu. Otherwise, if this guy was allowed to do whatever he wanted, he would be on the headlines the next day. This magic is not advanced, but it can deal with Accelerator. After all, she doesn't know anything about magic, so she can't analyze it, and can't detect it. Recovery successful, accompanied by Nyako's cuteness. Accelerator was also picked up and carried back inside. Chapter 148 The Proud Party. In a daze, Accelerator's consciousness gradually returned. As soon as he opened his eyes. I don't recognize the ceiling? No. This is the exclusive ceiling of the laboratory, because the popularity of the Academy City Laboratory is like a symbol. Instinctively, Accelerator wanted to stand up, but he couldn't get up at all. His limbs were fixed. When he realized this, he immediately mobilized his ability to break the chain, but the ability that once protected her and gave her safety when she was most insecure was no longer responding at this moment. She clearly felt that her own computing power was still preserved, but her ability was completely out of control. And my clothes, that one is too ugly. Girls should dress up well. Xia Yu appeared beside her with a smile on his face. You bastard. Remembering it, Accelerator remembered that he was defeated by a strange girl, and it seemed that he was knocked unconscious by a crowbar. And this guy in front of him, this hateful face, seems not so hateful? What's going on? Why does this guy feel different from the last time? Why? I don't even have a trace of hatred in my heart. Classmate Accelerator, you haven't developed well. This size. To put it bluntly, it's not even bigger than most men. Xia Yu directly reached out and touched the naked body of Accelerator, but there was no feeling at all. To be honest, it was not as good as playing water polo. Asshole, let go. Accelerator's face turned red. Although he didn't feel any disgust towards Xia Yu's behavior, but instead felt a little strange, he was still shy. After all, he was still a girl. Really? Let me tell you. I have the ability to deceive the water and bioelectricity in the human body. I can help you have a suitable body shape. Who needs it? Accelerator turned his head away proudly, but no longer mentioned Xia Yu's hand in a place where he could enter. Let me go, bastard, let me go. Accelerator's words were no longer scorching, but turned into a tone like a spoiled child. In front of Xia Yu, 99% of people will absolutely not be able to continue to cover themselves with disguises, just like people will not disguise themselves for others to see when looking in the mirror. Accelerator is not a pure villain, she just disguises herself with the appearance of a villain to protect herself. I don't want to. Aren't you going to attack me? And you said you want to kill me, then. That's for sure. I will be the first one to get rid of you. Accelerator blushed and turned his head to the side. Xia Yu chuckled. The main reason for achieving this effect is that Accelerator is now in a state of lack of security due to the long-term protection umbrella vector control being sealed, and Xia Yu is equal to herself, which makes her feel special. In other words, take advantage of the opportunity. Remember what I said before. If you lose the game, you will pay a price. I will fill you up. Xia Yu put his hand on the socket and kept measuring the size of the socket. Where you can do whatever you want. I'll just treat it as a dog bite. Xia Yu didn't mind being called a dog at all, since it wouldn't cost him a single drop of flesh. With a nasty smile on his face, he leaned into Accelerator's ear and whispered, "Oh, if you say that, I'll make you beg me to bite you." Impossible. Xia Yu blocked Accelerator's mouth, and his tongue invaded the area that belonged to one party. A simple magic replenishment ritual was completed in an instant, and some of the wisdom in Xia Yu's mind was instilled into Accelerator's mind. That was the knowledge of magic, the other side of the world, and the wisdom that Accelerator had never known. Accelerator quickly interpreted that wisdom, and the calculations were running at high speed, and the door to a new world was opened in her mind. At this moment, she immediately understood the steps to be promoted to level 6. Xia Yu immediately withdrew, with a nasty smile on his face, looking at the eager Accelerator, snapped his fingers and untied Accelerator's shackles, saying, "Do you want it? Beg me." "Ugh. I don't need it." Accelerator gritted his teeth and suppressed the desire in his heart. Xia Yu just chuckled. He took a maid outfit and put it next to Accelerator and said to him, "It's up to you, but if you don't beg me this time, I will raise the price next time. Don't worry." Accelerator will come to Xia Yu to beg him in the end, because this is instinct. Life is facing a stage of sublimation: people's desire for human reason, people's desire for mystery. These three desires are enough to make gods bend their waists and kneel in front of Xia Yu. Even if Accelerator resists for a while, he will be overwhelmed by the three increasingly powerful desires. Or, reason itself is actually on the side of the three desires. Life can be sublimated, people can contact human reason, people can explore the mystery. These three are human instincts, and reason only serves its own interests. Under such exaggerated interests, reason is desire. I won't. Accelerator picked up the clothes. Her face instantly became ashamed and angry. She said, "I don't want to wear this. Change me." Xia Yu naturally won't spoil her. "Wear it or not. If you don't wear it, don't even think about leaving this room. I will keep you like a canary." "Are you kidding? Not wearing it is the same as being naked? If she goes out like that, doesn't it mean that someone can take advantage of her? How can I allow it?" "You, disobedient? I specialize in treating disobedience. Let me tell you, there was a level 5 who was very dissatisfied before, and she became even more unruly after I taught her a lesson. It should be Stockholm Syndrome. All was doing a little thing to let me beat her. Do you want it too?" Just when Accelerator was confused, Xia Yu directly picked her up and pressed her on his legs. Pa, please vote for recommendation. Please give me a monthly ticket." Chapter 149, Remarks on the Release. Everyone, there are only 5 chapters before the release date. Because I misunderstood the editor, the release date was set at 12 noon. Fortunately, I can post chapters that are not released before the release date, so I won't break my promise. That's it. There will be another update around 8 o'clock next time, but it will be a release date chapter. This chapter is both a farewell to an old friend who has been with me for a long time, and a request for your continued support. Please give me a first order. Thank you. Chapter 150, Virtual Artificial Heaven. Everything is ready. All the names are ready. Here is the list. Fatsuki Toshin sent a message to Xia Yu's mobile phone. There were more than 20,000 names on the list. Xia Yu scanned it and memorized the names of each Misaka sister according to the numbers. Through the slightly special wavelength, Xia Yu remembered their characteristics and distinguished them. Well, not bad. Gather them in the underground laboratory and start the equipment I brought. Start the plan. Yes, Fatsuki Toshin nodded and immediately went to arrange it. This is very simple. It only took 10 minutes to complete. Xia Yu looked down through the transparent glass. In the equipment similar to massage chairs, there were basically identical Misaka sisters lying. Although they had names, they were still arranged by number. After all, they were basically the same. Start, with Xia Yu's words, without the need for other people to operate. Strange and mysterious magical lights shone from the equipment. Purple? Blue? Red? No, that is not a simple color, but a complex, intertwined and interchangeable strange color. It was an extremely magical, strange and weird color, and even many average PhD-level researchers could not recognize what color it was. The color was like a real mist, slowly spreading, and in the mist, the light spots shone like stars. For a moment, the inside and outside of a layer of glass turned into reality and magic. There was a magical realm, the glory of another world. Many researchers could not take their eyes away from the magical mist, and everyone wanted to go in and study it personally. After all, scientists and magicians are similar, and they are curious about unknown things. However, magicians call it mystery, while scientists call it undiscovered things. 20,000 Misaka sisters are like users logging into a client called Science Magic. Xia Yu's way to deal with Misaka's sisters in order to complete Aleister's goal is scientific magic. Since pressure is needed, then put pressure on 20,000 at the same time, and constantly inspire each other. Originally, Aleister's method was simple and crude, which was to kill one Misaka sister, and through the connection, make the other Misaka sisters feel a sense of crisis, so as to achieve the purpose of constructing a virtual world with electromagnetic force by the number of souls that are connected to the blood of this body. Xia Yu's method is more special. He relies on his unique grimoire of eternal advancement to oppress the bodies and pseudo-spirits of Misaka sisters, and by calling the combination of real souls and pseudo-spirits, a subsidiary soul is born. More than 20,000 Misaka sisters are linked together to form a virtual world in scientific magic. This is good for Xia Yu, because Xia Yu has mastered the most important part of Aleister's plan, artificial heaven. And with the help of the artificial heaven, this special existence that suddenly appeared from the four realms of Kabbalah, in turn, counter erosion of the four realms of Kabbalah. Of course, the so-called artificial heaven is meaningless if it is just an empty shell world. Everyone, do you want to explore the mystery? Feel the wisdom of the ancient world. Before they could respond, the magic fog penetrated a glass that could even isolate the air and spread out. Although this thing looked like a substance, it was actually not a substance at all. The magic fog spread out, intoxicating many researchers. This is mystery, which is also unknown. Human nature is curiosity, which is to pursue the unknown. Tiny arcs flashed on the bodies of the Misaka sisters one by one. At this moment, they all reached level 1. The electromagnetic force of 20,000 people perfectly matched to form a virtual world based on the power of the same soul. This world is very weak, so weak that once it attempts to insert into the four realms of Kabbalah, it will definitely be squeezed into pieces by the four realms. It still needs to grow, more wisdom, and more nutrition. And the opportunity is coming soon. It's almost time. Awes told Xia Yu that the time is almost there. Xia Yu estimated that it would take about half a year. After all, Awes's time concept is very different from Xia Yu's, even a world of difference. One by one, the researchers fell down. Their wisdom could only accept this level. Fatsuki Toshin was the last to fall down. Because she was a beautiful girl, Xia Yu helped her into his arms. The first science magic communication experiment was successful. The Misaka sisters woke up from the machine one by one. They looked up at the man standing behind the glass, holding Fatsuki Toshin in his arms. From Misaka Kyoko's memory, they knew that this man saved Misaka Kyoko, and also knew he saved about thousands of themselves. If he didn't come here, the original plan would not be over, and thousands or even tens of thousands of people would die. Of course, they didn't know how to be grateful, nor did they understand other emotions. They looked at Xia Yu just to feel the direct connection between them and Xia Yu, the most direct and stable connection. Next, let's learn some common sense and combat skills. Xia Yu looked at the Misaka sisters below and thought in his heart. On the other side, accelerator. No, now she is called Suzuko Yuriko. This is the name Xia Yu gave her, because she said she didn't have a name and didn't need one. She was just herself, accelerator. But Xia Yu didn't care. Xia Yu just wanted to call her that. So she was given a name voluntarily. Suzuko Yuriko lay on the bed, tossing and turning, awake all night. Her face was flushed, and her hands rubbed her front from time to time, and touched her buttocks from time to time. The memories in her mind kept coming out. The distance was not far, and the memory was deep enough to remember a lifetime of memories. Let me beg you. Impossible. I absolutely. The body was calling, the spirit was demanding, the instinct was in need, she needed that wisdom. After gaining a little bit, she knew her own state. Although she had such power, she did not really master it, because this power came from the soul. Her body could not control the soul. How to say it? That superpower is like money power. A player, sitting in front of a computer desk, will charge money for combat power. The better the characters perform, the more the player wants to spend money, and finally spend all the money to live in the game. It's almost a relationship between the soul and the body. Xia Yu is like this. His soul is all pressed on this body, but the body can't digest it. In other words, the resources obtained by charging money have not yet been converted into combat power. And Suzuko Yuriko hasn't put all of them in yet. Please recommend. Please vote for the monthly ticket. This is the first VIP. There's more today. but it will be a little later. Friends who can't wait can go and rest. The same will be seen tomorrow. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.